All right, babes, here we go. And we are here in VRChat. And welcome to the second segment of VRLive. Yes, we did this last year after Furality. And then on top of that, we had some wonderful guests that came in that shared their experiences during Furality. We're going to be doing the same thing today with another good variety of other guests that have been participating in Furality and or had a booth in Furality. It's going to be completely amazing, and we're just going to get it all started. I don't have a co-host this time, but hey, it is what it is. I'm hoping to actually get something like this going on a monthly basis that we can bring in some more people, have a great time, and just get to know a lot of individuals that contribute into the VR setting for the furry fandom, even outside the furry fandom as well. And how you doing, Scan? Hope you guys have a great talk show. Thank you so much. And then Nepal, yes, the jazz. I figured that would be a nice touch. Absolutely, give it like a good talk show feel. It's amazing. And hello, Flaming. Hello, Nepal. Hello, Mrs. Thank you so much for joining in. Hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful time. But we have a wonderful, wonderful lineup. We're going to be talking to a good handful of individuals like SturmWolf, who is a avatar creator. We got Lt.Shadow coming in about half hour after that. They are the owner of Furry Hideout. We got Ulmafar, who is also a avatar creator. We have MikeDaBird, also an avatar creator. Writerfluff is going to be making a nice guest experience as well. It's going to be amazing talking with her. And then we have the closing was TokensArcade, who is a TikToker, content creator, wonderful personality on the internet. You guys will love them so much. And we'll be bringing in some questions from you all too near the end of each guest as well, so it's going to be amazing. So I'm a little stuttering and I'm kind of nervous because like we got some really good stuff going on here. Absolutely awesome music, dude. Thank you so much. Quirly, what's up? How you doing? Kick back, relax, enjoy the show. Wah! Tweet, tweet. Yes, tweet, tweet. All right, so we're going to be bringing up our first guest here, who is SturmWolf, avatar creator, wonderful individual. Let's go ahead and get SturmWolf up in here. Come on. All right. SturmWolf, everybody. SturmWolf, how are you? Thank you for joining.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, let me turn you up a
Hope you're
little
well
bit
too.
here. Yeah.
Oh,
Still getting
am I
things
too?
situated here. There we go.
Okay, okay,
All
okay.
right.
Am I sitting
So,
good here?
so we understand that you weren't in Furality this year, but you are a
Sadly.
wonderful avatar creator. You want to talk about yourself, what you've created, your whole experience behind it all?
Sure. I started with Niilit edits, and the Nova Beast edit most famous is like the Night Beast and the Luna Beast I did, and after that I was focusing on making my own base avatar. And yeah, this here is let me think, my third, fourth, I don't know,
Your fourth one.
something like this. Yeah,
So
something like this.
what was your first one that your first fresh built one that you made?
The first was the Siva. This was like a
Ziva?
feline cat avatar.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
love
you
that
have
one.
it,
Yeah, I have it.
you
I
know it.
love it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
amazing. Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
So what inspired you to actually start with the whole avatar creation thing? Like you said, you wanted to do edits and everything. You edited in order to pre-build one, and then you fell into creating your own. Can you give us a rundown on how, like, what actually got you going on all that?
Sure. Actually, it started with the Hynid, like I said, and something about the face shape didn't feel right for me. And I did not have the skill yet to like change it or do with it what I wanted. So I just learned or I just started with Unity at some point and the classical, oh, I now know how to toggle stuff on. Had like 10 or 20 different swords on there and pistols, but I couldn't shoot with it. It was just the model itself. And yeah, after that, some good friend of mine, he's called Luna, was showing me Blender one day. And that's how it all started with like fitting clothes and making stuff, assets for avatars. And yeah, it took me a while. And I hated Substance Painter. It was my arch nemesis. So I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
do textures. I had no idea how to do them. So I just did everything in Photoshop. Not even the professional way. I just how do I explain it? I just made silly stuff and it didn't look good until when I started to make my own bases. I had to get that skill at some point because you cannot sell an avatar without textures. So
Right,
yeah, that's
exactly.
how
Yeah. Like,
I
unless you want
started.
to just sell the
Basically,
FBX and be like, "Good luck."
nah, I wanted to make a full usable avatar, And yeah, that's basically, oh, yeah, what I wanted to say. It was, I couldn't choose between what I wanted. So to explain that a little further is, then actually let me think real quick. Uh, I had this one person, a friend of mine, wanted to get a commission by a famous commissioner back then on the High-Net scene. Okay.
Ah, okay.
And I wanted one too. So, but I had the issue. I couldn't decide what I wanted. I couldn't uh, decide on colors. I couldn't decide on what assets, whatever clothes, whatever hair,
So
everything.
basically, a full-on indecisiveness of like patterns,
Yeah, yeah.
colors, textures, things like that. You
So
just
I
had no
thought,
idea.
so I thought to myself, I don't want to bother an commissioner to do my silly ideas. I even not even had clearly in my mind, and I always felt that, yeah, I mean, if I can do it myself, I can. I don't have to bother someone else to do it for me. If that makes any sense to you.
No, it
But
does.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I started.
Yeah, that's how it is
It
with
was a
me
long
too.
journey.
Like, I'd get like an avatar that I like truly wanted, and then I'm like, okay, I have a specific style I like, that like, for example, like my not my very first avatar that I ended up getting retextured. It was not even my second one because my second one was made by a friend of mine. I'm like, hey, just go with it, just add flames, and they did a wonderful job. But then like it came to the point to where it's like I wanted another one. People were saying it's like you need to get the Arflin, you need to get the Arflin, and so this is the result. But I ended up like asking a dear friend of mine that took commissions and everything, and they did a wonderful, wonderful job. Joy Life, I don't know if you ever heard of them. And like I told them exactly what I wanted, and like I felt so bad because they're the type of person that things have to make sense to them when it comes to the retextures. And like I told him, it's like, well, I want flames. That's my persona. It's a red panda with the power of the phoenix. I want flames on it. And like I felt so bad on it. It was so awkward just trying to convince them, like, okay, can we just do this? Like I really want it. I want your work. I want you are amazing. And so I totally get what you mean by that.
Yeah.
So
That's
uh
a nice story.
doing so doing the edits and everything, so you were basically inspired to create your own. Did you take what you learned from doing all the edits to actually start creating your own,
Absolutely.
or did you just went through
Absolutely.
like a tutorial? So okay.
No, no, absolutely through my edits. I mean, the first edit was high nits.
Mm.
Everything was high nits, and I improved a lot by doing that. Learned how to like fit clothing, do other stuff, weight painting and sculpting was the nicest part. I still do it today because sculpting is helping me make avatars from scratch. Basically, you start with a sculpt and then you retopologize it. So you basically sculpt the base, how the avatar is supposed to look like, or how the idea of the avatar is supposed to look like, if that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, that was basically helping me a lot, like building from the skill, from editing stuff, to then finally make my own. And I forgot something very important because one of my friends from Tiger Mafia, Trey, was showing me how to retopologize. That was basically the first step to doing my own avatar base and not having to rely on kit bashes. Not that kit bashes are anything bad, but I didn't want to do like just kit bashing because it didn't feel like my own work.
Like your true like design. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes. No, 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 not the design, but the work itself.
Oh, okay.
So I always had to say, yeah, that's not my avatar, but at the same time, it kind of is. But I didn't make the stuff that's on that avatar. I
Exactly.
just played Lego and put everything together and
Yeah, you basically
not
just
that
like
kit
clipping
bash.
things
Just to
together. Yeah.
clarify,
Yeah.
yeah, just to clarify, kit bashing is not a bad thing. Don't, I didn't say that, but it didn't feel right to me, at least, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah, that does. Yeah, it's like you want something you created 100% that's on the avatar. Like everything about it is
Exactly.
from you, and so grabbing something from other avatars, which, some people that's all they can do. They don't have the skill sets of being able to actually create like specific ears, specific,
And that's
lines,
completely
faces,
fine.
stuff like that. Yeah. And no, it is
That's
fine. It
completely fine.
actually
Yeah,
is fine. Like you do what you got to do to create something that you are going to
absolutely.
enjoy. Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever makes yourself happy.
Yeah. So when learning how to actually create the avatars, did you already know like the full anatomy of like the felines? Because the Siva was your first one. Did you actually go and do research of the anatomy of the felines, like where the paw placements, the necks, the eyes, everything like that, or did you just like go off of like references?
Mm, no, I didn't take any references. Basically, yes, for the texture. Of course,
Mm.
you have to get realistic structures of the texture as a base. I mean, you can go full on fantasy and whatever, tribal and whatever on the texture, but
Mm.
it still needs to make sense. So you have to know how a feline nose looks, how to the insides of the ears and the eyes, whatever. But no, I didn't look too much at references. I had the Pineit edit I made before as like a base I was looking it off from, because the High-Knit edit I did before was also a cat. So I had experience in how the face should look like. I had an idea how the body should look like. Yeah,
No, okay. All right. So basically, you already had a particular idea on what you wanted to go with. That's really awesome. That's really awesome. Um,
kinda,
so kind of, yeah.
kinda.
So, my next question is like when it came to like the furry fandom,
Yeah.
which everybody has their story. And I like to hear about this when it comes to like well known individuals, and along with like several people, especially like my audience as well, is like what started you actually like liking like the furry fandom? Like what drew you into the furry
Hmm.
fandom?
I think it was, and yes, I'm old. It was back at 2008 where I found out about furries, but I didn't know what it is. I mean, I just looked at the art and was like, oh. hell yeah, that looks cool. I like that. And yeah, over the years, I was following more art, more furry art, and it was always kind of undercover furry. I
Ah, you
didn't
were
go to
closeted.
friends and tell them,
You were
yeah, I'm
closeted.
a
Yep.
furry. I
Yep.
like the yeah, I like the fandom or whatever. It was always like, yeah, I know about them, but I don't really interact with them too much. But at the same time, when I started VRChat, there was not very much furry avatars. I
Yeah.
think the first one and only one that was available back then was the Rex
Rexonium. Yeah.
and some other small bases. But the Rex was basically the first furry avatar I was using in VRChat. And yeah, but it was 2008, like I said, and I was still in school. So I had this, yeah, I mean, I did draw some furry stuff myself. It was bad. It was really bad.
Oh, I've been there.
I
Yep.
was keeping
I
it
think
in
we all
my
been there, right,
like
Chad?
in the what do you call it, the folder, whatever, you know, for school. And I always looked at it, and tried to hide it from my classmates so they don't see it what I was drawing, you know.
Right.
And
Well,
someone
you got to
found
keep it
out. It
hidden, right?
was
You got to keep it hidden. Be like,
embarrassing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like, okay,
Someone found out, and it was so embarrassing. But he
oh
didn't
no.
didn't tell the others. He didn't tell the others. That was where I was lucky. But still, it. Oh my God. I mean, furries weren't a thing back then.
So
I
the
mean,
the
they
person found
were,
out,
but
like, what
not.
exactly they do is like, oh my god, what is that? Ew, you're
No, no,
drawing
no, no, not
animals.
even. Not even that. He just looked at it, looked at me, looked back at it, just and
Just be like, okay, I'm
turned
just gonna
around and
leave that
was
there,
gone.
and I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go over
yeah.
here.
I,
Yeah. Okay.
I won't even comment on that thing. But
Oh
yeah, that was
no.
my first interaction with a non-furry that saw that I'm in the fandom, basically.
Oh my gosh. So,
Yeah.
what is like the most fondest memories of like when you were like your early days in VR chat? Like, what really like kind of got
Oh,
you to like stick around VR chat? Like, what kept you coming back?
what kept me coming back? Yeah, I mean, obviously, that what I'm wearing, that's my new base, by the way. I'm working on it currently. After my vacation, I was like hooked on the work and did not stop since. I did not take a break. Was working every day on it, but that's not the point. Why I started on it and what kept me bring back was avatars. I don't know. I just liked the idea of VR as a whole and to be able to be someone else, something else. And first I was using a female human base, I think. It was from Godfall back then. Very known name in that scene. Um yeah, that was basically what kept me coming back because I kind of like to have, you know,
You like having tits, and that's fine. Yeah, a lot of people do. Shit.
sure, yeah, absolutely fair.
Love your pronouns,
Um,
by the way. WD-40. That's freaking awesome. You like being
yeah,
lube. Yeah, you like to be that slippery. No, right.
no, I'm just like to being stupid. I like funny stuff. That doesn't have anything to do with sexual or whatever.
No, I get it. I get it.
Because even though don't look like it, I'm not on the sexual side of VRChat at all. I just make it. I don't use it.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. Uh, so we're gonna go into more deeper kind of subject here. You being an
Sure.
avatar creator, you know your stuff is out there. Plenty of people have got your bases, and they make their own uh, reflection of themselves using your bases. How does it uh, feel to actually see people using your something you created and they're actually like really enjoying it? So, what is your feelings on that?
The first time someone actually went to me and told me, oh, they like my avatar, I was making a public of mine. I was thinking to myself, is this person actually crazy? Because I don't even like what I'm doing. Does the person like what I'm doing? And that's kind of still the point. Because as a creator, you're your worst critic. Everything people would like or don't even notice on an avatar is like I see it, okay? And if I'm seeing it and I can't fix it, I cannot use that avatar anymore. And that's how I felt the first time. Now it makes me very happy that I'm actually creating something that people like. And that helped a lot since I was not the, yeah, how do I say that?
So
My
basically,
self-awareness, but my mental state, it got better. I'm sorry, my English is not
no, you're fine.
sometimes
You're
not
fine.
Englishing
Yeah.
because I'm not a native speaker.
That's okay because, like I tell people, it's like I know two languages, okay? English and bad English, so I get that.
I only
so,
know bad English and
so
German.
reflecting on the avatar creations, other people using it and stuff like that, and people have commented you, it's like, oh my god, I love your stuff. I love how and everything. So, um, did it basically motivate you to do better or just to keep going what
Of
you're
course,
doing?
no, my drive is always to get better. And the way I made avatars like a year or 2 years ago is not even close to what I'm doing now because I actually learned to improve my work quite a bit over the years. If you see the
Yeah, I've
Siva
seen
and
it.
you see
I have
this
seen
in
it.
the project, then you notice quite a difference on quality on the small things. So it's always improving a
This,
little bit, but
yeah, the small details
it
make a huge
yeah,
difference. Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
So, are
Exactly.
you planning on going back to the Ziva and doing like
No.
updates or
I
any
mean,
improvements on it?
I did. I actually did. Kinda did. The Akiva was okay, I have to explain that.
Okay.
Like I said, I did high-knit edits and I made the Akira. That's a high-knit edit. And it was like a very nice looking female, of course, cat avatar, like a lynx
Mm.
style, and with the texture of a good friend of mine.
Oh.
And I really liked when I looked back at it, how it looked. So I wanted to remake that kinda. And that idea got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and I released her actually for Siva owners as a free update, even though it
Oh,
was
yeah.
almost a completely new avatar as its own. But uh,
So, let me pull up your page here. If so, we got the Luna base, the Night base, the Ziva, the Malibu. I do notice that yeah, there's quite a few like extras on there that were tagged in. Now, were these like requests from people or something that you personally wanted on something that you can use?
mixed.
Mixed.
Mixed. So I have like a channel on my Discord that is called Storm Work in Progress Pics and whatever. And I always do like little asking sessions, what people want, what they would prefer, Like if they want male avatars, or like let me say this different, masculine avatars,
Ah,
feminine avatars, or overall female shaped, you know,
right.
or if they want wings, or if they want a certain types of clothing. And I have a channel on my Discord that is called Your Ideas for me.
Okay.
So people can text in there
So
whatever
basically,
idea they may
you're
have.
feeding, you're using the information that's brought to you by your community, by the people that use your
Yeah,
avatars.
but
That is wonderful. That is
at the
amazing.
end, I myself have to choose, because I cannot do every wishes as much as I would like to, because that would be simply too much. Because once I did like I once asked them what kind of species they want, and there was everything around this spectrum, like dinosaurs, snails, frogs, cats, even though I already made a cat, wolf, shark, everything. If I wanted to,
Can we get a red panda?
red panda. I mean, that would basically be a female, feline kind of avatar, because the shape would fit.
Yeah,
So
I
the
turned it
Sivan
up. I do
or the
apologize,
Siva
chat.
could be a red panda too, kind
You
of
know,
way,
yeah.
you
I
know?
mean, I basically turned the Ziva into my red panda. I put in my textures, and
Exactly,
it does
exactly.
get that. It does have that a bit. Yeah, it definitely does. Especially like the little side floofs and stuff like that. Absolutely. Uh,
Yeah,
we're gonna turn over to any questions from chat, but I'm gonna ask one more
sure.
question. But I'm gonna open up the floor to chat if they have any questions for you. But I do have one more question on my end here. So when creating the avatars and you're releasing and everything, like do you get like pretty much nerve wracked on like is this going to be something people are going to like? Are they going to enjoy it? Or am I going to actually have to like trash it, or am I going to have to do something else? Am I going to have to like does your mind race when releasing an avatar?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Every time.
every time.
It doesn't get old. Every time I release an avatar, I'm very scared that people might don't not like it, that it's gonna be a flop or whatever reason. But I think that's normal. I asked other creators, but they pretty much feel the same at this point. So every time an avatar is releasing, you have thoughts like, will they like it? Will there be issues? Will there be, you know, too
Basically,
much
well, yeah,
overthinking?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Overthinking, and honestly, I do that too at times because I have what they call imposter syndrome. I always think it's like, am I doing
Oh,
enough? Am I like do people just come around just
exactly.
because things like that? Do people actually really like my
Yeah,
shit?
big point.
Like complete. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I guess every kind of
Mm,
creator has that
every creator,
anxiety in a way that thinking
every normal creator I
yeah,
know, basically.
yeah.
I
Uh,
mean, there might be some people that don't have those thoughts, and or yeah, are
basically
just
confidence.
whatever,
Yeah,
take it,
yeah.
you know. But I'm not that person. I really like to get feedback. I really like to get good feedback. And not just, oh, I mean, I kind of like it when people say, it's, I love your avatar, but most important for me is actual feedback that calls out actual issues. Like for example, if everything is fine and whatever, but the some part is clipping on a clothing, I probably won't see it until it's like after some days. And I'm still wondering for myself, why didn't anybody say anything? I mean, I'm here for
Yeah.
fixing it. That's the whole point. I'm doing updates, you know? But if I don't know about it, how should I fix it?
Precisely. Yeah, like feedback's always good. You got to take the good with the bad on everything
Yeah,
that you do. You know, the good is amazing, that gives people insight. It's like, hey, keep doing what you're doing.
yeah.
People are going to like it. And then you got the people that are like, well, why didn't you do this? Or you could have done this better. And then you're like, oh, whoa, okay. I didn't know. Thank you for letting me know. And then you kind of think like, okay, so is
Mhm.
that stuff even necessary for me to even continue forward with it? So you got to like do the whole filter thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's always a major step process. It's because you did something doesn't mean that you can't improve on it later down the road.
exactly.
Well, if you got any final thoughts at all, like anything you want to share with the chat, with plenty of people here, I'm pretty sure they have your avatars too.
Yeah,
So anything you want to share?
sure. I always love when I see people around using my avatars, even though I'm a little shy sometimes and don't go to them and directly talk to them, but it makes me very happy seeing people actually enjoy and use my work. That means I'm actually doing something right.
I think we
And
all
I
have
hope I
that.
will
Yeah.
still be in the future.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, hey, Storm, thank you so much for coming in. It's been great. Make sure to check them out on Gumroad and Jinxie Beans. I don't know if you're on PayHip as well.
I have the Night Beast and Lunar Beast on pay, but that's pretty much it.
So make sure to go
Everything
to
else is
Gumroad
on
and
Jinxie.
Jinxie, everybody. Make sure to go to Gumroad and Jinxie, SturmWolf. They have assets for the avatars as well, which you probably are using right now. Check them out and show some support. Give them feedback. Those stars and those comments always help out the creators as well. But thanks again, SturmWolf. It's been amazing seeing you and
Yeah,
talking to
you're
you.
welcome.
You have a great rest of your
It was
night, okay?
amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take
You
care.
too. Hey.
All right. Up next, ladies and beans, we have our favorite pink doggo on the internet. You know her, you love her. We have Amydoggy coming in.
Oh,
Amy, hello,
you're
sweetheart.
looking very professional. You
I
little
try.
vest.
I try. I try. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for dropping in. Hopefully everything's
Of
worked out for
course.
you. I know you have an event right after this to go to, so we'll try to keep it in time.
Yeah, yeah. No, we got plenty of time. We'll be fine. I
Awesome,
set up everything
awesome.
beforehand.
Yeah, awesome. So, just as a nice little start introduction, why don't you tell the audience who you are and what you do?
Oh, I'm Amy Doggy. I'm a dog. I Twitch stream. I make various content. Um, yeah, that's just all I do. It feels like that's my day. Content and stream.
So basically, that camera is your life, basically, right?
At the moment, yeah.
At the moment, yeah, yeah. I feel that. I feel that. So you do Twitch. Do you do any kind of TikToks at all?
I do a little bit of TikTok. I mean, for Twitch, I do stay for work, but obviously there's other stuff I do. If you know who I
Oh
am,
yeah,
you've probably
yeah,
seen it
yeah.
somewhere around there.
But if
But
anybody that knows that other one, the like
Mhm.
what the Atari uses as a controller,
Yeah.
that site, yeah, yeah, very familiar with that site. Hi, Crystal. Um, so plenty of questions here. Where to begin? I guess we could start with the basics. Like, what actually brought you into doing content creation, live streaming? Like, what brought you into it?
Oh gosh, the origin story.
We got time, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, when when I graduated college, I don't know, even before that, like live streaming and like content creation was always something that was like, oh man, that looks so cool. It looks like so much fun, and I could do that. Um, and I did college, got a degree, and then like COVID happened, and I was just, I don't know, I just like, well, I'll try Twitch, and I had been doing Twitch for a while before that, but it was like different accounts, different stuff. I wasn't even like really in the furry community proper. Once I get into VRChat, like everything kind of changed, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, maybe I really like this game. I'm gonna try streaming it, and never really look back.
Yeah, that's how it all starts and everything. I like the fact that a lot of people always say, well, hey, to build up one type of platform, you need to go to another. Like for me, they said, well, if you want to succeed on like live streaming, you need to put some videos out there on YouTube and things like that. And it kind of went the opposite for me. Like, how
Yeah,
was it
I
with
mean,
you?
it
Like,
doesn't
were
always.
people
Yeah,
doing that for
it
you?
doesn't always work out like that. I mean, for the longest time, I was just doing Twitch only, but then as things started to pick up, I was like, well, as everyone says, yeah, you should be doing content off Twitch, and I just started doing that. But it's never been my focus either. Like I find myself to be a live streamer first. Like I'm not a YouTuber, or I'm
Yeah.
not like someone who makes short form TikTok content. Like anything you see is just clips or VODs.
Right. Yeah. I feel that all the time. Like, I try doing videos, I try doing shorts, I try doing things like that, and they don't get the same impact as like full on live streaming. Because with live streaming,
Mm.
you get the realism, you get you get the audience get to feel the real you. They get to see the mishaps,
Yeah.
they get to see the actual actions,
It
the
it
internet and
comes it's
everything.
it's genuine,
It's
and that's
very
something I really like
genuine.
about it.
Exactly. Exactly. So one of the major things that I like to do when it comes to this show, like I did last year, is that we just talk about Furality. You went to Furality, right?
I did go to Furality.
Yeah. So, uh, you want just share what you got on there? Like, where did you go? What did you do? Like, what were you a part of?
Well, this year I kind of took it a little easy. Um, Mostly I wanted to hit up a couple meetups. Obviously, the streamer meetup was like a big thing I wanted to hit up. Found myself in a couple others I didn't even expect, and it's just like every time I go to one of those, it's always a good time. The
Oh
club
yeah.
world was fun.
Oh, the club was
That was
amazing.
kind of fun to just kind of hang out.
Except for
Didn't
that
do a lot of
4 hour
dancing this
crash.
year.
That 4 hour.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
It was
that
better
that
this year
was
than it was
funny.
last year. I
That,
mean, last year we had a whole day that was just gone, a whole night.
oh, hours. Yeah, like half a day just gone. Never got to see it again. No, yeah, the Club Fin crash was insane. Honestly, like, when I want to actually go, like me and some friends of mine were just like waiting for a whole hour just to actually get in, and then we finally
Hmm.
get in. Some of us couldn't make it because the instances were filling up, which was another big problem. And we just end up getting in there, and we're like, yes, it's start time to party, time to dance, and everything. 3 hours of waiting for them to get that going. It's like 3 or 4 hours. We were just sitting there waiting, just talking amongst ourselves, listening to the same looped thing over and over and over. I'm like,
Oh
what?
yeah, that.
Yeah.
I think somebody had made a group at some point that was just like the screen or something. I was
The
just seeing
keep
that
just
everywhere.
please keep dancing
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. So you went to the streamer meetup. Did you end up running into some people that you've been wanting to meet? Did you like a bunch of fans were excited to see you?
Yeah, yeah. I go out and just kind of, you know, I usually like a lot of people usually want to take pictures. Ran into real the protogen who I haven't met before, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, what was he like?
There's a couple. Oh, he's goofy.
Goofy.
He's goofy.
Oh my gosh. So, all right. And then let me see here. Uh-oh, something closed.
That's not
Technical
good.
difficulties being. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh. No. I hate it when this happens. Nothing ever stays correct. Ugh. All right. Let me try to bring that up again. Okay. All right. Sorry. So what I asked for the Sturm. So, what brought you into the furry fandom? Like, what was the introduction, and like, how did it get all started for you?
So there was this show, well, this movie called Space Jam, and there was this character on there, Lola Bunny. I guess that sparked an interest. But I mean, I don't know. Like once I got the internet, um, I guess you just kind of like start searching stuff up, and I guess I was kind of in the closet for like forever on it. But I was always kind of like, I was always like, man, because I would watch like furry parades on YouTube, like in I don't know, like 17, 18 or something. And I'm like, man, they look like they're having so much fun, but then I'm also like, oh, it's so cringe. Like I wouldn't want to do that, but but it does look like they're just having so much fun. And so I was like in the closet for the longest time, and it wasn't until like VRChat where I actually like met furries and was like around the community, and I was like, oh, like they're not so cringe and scary, and they are still having fun. So I just kind of found a friend group, and the rest is kind of history.
So basically, being the furry fandom kind of led you into VR chat, or did you just like hear about VR chat?
No, I VR chat just seems like something
Chrono
interesting because
Flash.
I mean this was like I guess like 2016 or whenever like the first Oculus came out, that CV1 headset.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a game I really wanted to play. It was like Star Trek Bridge Crew, where you get to be in a you basically get to have three other people and you pilot a starship and do missions. And I was
Heck
like, oh, that's so
yeah.
cool. Like I like Star Trek and stuff. And I started looking at other games, and I was like, well, this VR chat looks really fun. You can just kind of be whatever you want. And I remember getting in there just for the memes, and then eventually I think I just kind of hit a point where I was just like, I really want to just like make friends on here. And once you start making those genuine connections, you start coming online, you see the same people, and then you get into other friend groups and other friend groups, and I was just hooked.
Nice. I mean, that's the whole point of VR chat is just to meet
Mm,
people and just talk
you just gotta
and all
find
that.
that one friend.
Yeah, honestly, that's exactly how it is. Like you come in here, you just explore the worlds, find people that have a common interest with you, and just chill and vibe. And like, would you consider VR chat like a major social platform these days, or would you find it more of like just a game?
Oh, I 100% a social platform. I don't when I don't even list as like people. Well, what games do you play? I don't even list like VR chat as one of them because it's just to me it's not. It is a social platform for me, and I feel like if you are in this and you're like buying full body and stuff, it's a social platform for you too, probably.
Heck yeah. Hey Spike, thank you for the raid. Thank you. Hope you had a wonderful stream. And welcome to the talk show. This is VR Live, where we get to talk with some guests that we have on the show. And if you have any questions, please post up on what you have for the guests, because we still got SturmWolf over there as well. So being in VR chat and meeting all these people, having a wonderful time and everything. Was there any
Hmm.
point in your experience in VR chat to where you ended up like questioning, like, is this like something I want to continue with? Is this something that I want to evolve with? Uh, and is that something that you kind of like fell into streaming as well with it?
Yeah, I mean, once I was just kind of streaming it because I was like, oh, it's kind of just fun to stream, and I had already wanted to kind of get into streaming, but I guess as it was going on, it started to kind of it was like it's like you kind of reach a point where you're like, oh, this could be like a full-time job if I really want it to be. And I think there was definitely like a light bulb moment of like, oh, like if I really just put in like a whole bunch of effort, I could do this as a full-time job. And I know, it's not just streaming. Like, I mean, a lot of people make a good living doing like
Absolutely.
model work, blender work, all sorts of stuff. And
Yeah. Yeah, like
there's a whole economy in here now.
oh, basically,
Mhm.
yeah, it is. And, there's a lot you can do. So many things you can do. So many things you can see. As speaking of models, so I see that your models have a lot of like custom work on them that others
Oh
don't really
yes.
have. So you mind explaining some of the work that you put behind your avatars?
Well, I guess like some of the most custom thing with this this model is it's just kind of the paws. We got like the index toes so they can like move with your fingers,
Whoa! Oh, that is
which
That's
I
neat.
cool.
like.
That is neat. Wow. Like you can like
That's a
you can
toggle?
just like
It
reach
is.
over instead of using your paws. Like I don't want to bend over and grab that. I'm
That's
just
so
gonna reach
cool.
on over
Right.
there and
I
grab it
love
with
that.
my toes. Oh, that
Thank
is
you
But
for the idea.
insane.
this is kind of like this is my new model. I just got this done probably about it's been in the works for about 2 months. But I was using the last one I was using was like for 5 years. I'm kind of one of those people that I find something I like, I just stick to it.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
finally, the creator of this Ghostly came out with like a new, like an updated version with different body proportions that 5 years later they've gotten a lot better at it. And I just was like, well, I want that. So I
Yeah.
ended up paying someone a absorbent amount of money to be like, take everything from this model and put it onto this one.
Yeah. So I noticed that you seem to be going for the more natural look and not an
Hmm.
exaggerated, fine look. I could tell like on a lot of your streams, a lot of your pictures and everything, you seem to fold into more of like the everyday average person look. So you mind give us an insight on that?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted something with like a tummy. It kind of fits my IRL body type a little bit better, and just I don't know. I've never been a big fan of like the really over exaggerated like chest and butt. Like I like that stuff, of course, but I'm looking for something that just I felt more comfortable in and maybe represented myself a little bit better, just because
Just to have a
play
better
this a
feel,
lot.
just a
Yeah, I play
better
this a
feel.
lot. Yeah, and I like it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I like it too because honestly, it's a fresh look. It's a fresh idea, a fresh way to go when it comes to avatars as well. Like people, they want to portray themselves in like an exaggerated way, which honestly, I don't blame them. I do too.
It's VR
I
chat. You
do
can
too.
be whatever you
Yeah,
want to
do
be.
whatever you want. Yeah, but I can see though, there are some people that the overly exaggerated, and I know I'm pressing that statement pretty hardcore. Is like, you got the extra thin avatars, big hips, big thighs, big tit, and things like anybody would love, um but it's actually a nice fresh thing to actually see somebody that actually has those little extra curves that normal people have. Like me personally, I have a little bit of a, not a big belly, but just a little bit of a, a little bit of a belly, and honestly, that's me. That's awesome. Like seeing more of that is actually great. And some stores are actually doing that now to where they're not going for like the heavy cut, muscular, fine looking human beings. They're actually adding like wider hips, a little bit of a pudge, where pudge is these days. And I think that's
And I'm
actually a
all
really
for
good
it.
direction. Heck yeah. Absolutely. Body of a goddess. Yeah, Amy does have a body of a goddess. Absolutely. Yeah. How's it going,
I'm just a
G?
dog.
Yeah. No, I like that. So out of all your models, what's your favorite model that you have? Like, what is your biggest favorite model?
I mean, obviously this one, but I really like the Mama Gen, and I have this one by Baller Rice, I believe. They have a dog model that I've had kind of. It's a bit more chibi. Affectionately, it's my community calls it College Amy, because it looks like it's a bit
Wait, hold
younger,
on.
and I like to
College?
play her as like, yeah, like she's in college. She's a little bit
Oh
partier.
my! Hey, the best thing about college girls, they all stay the same age.
That's true.
That is awesome. Heck yeah. Oh my gosh. So, tell us about your persona, your colors, your patterns, and everything like that. So, basically, what you're portraying as yourself on here. Like, so what was the idea of Amy Doggo?
Well, it's not all that complicated. Yeah, but basically, when the first Ghostly Dog came out, I had a friend who we were playing VR together with. We were just both kind of getting into it, and that dog came. I was like, oh, I want that. That's what I want. I really really want it. And my friend who's an artist, she's like, oh, it'd be really cute if it was like pink, and she just ran with it. She says, I'm just gonna make it pretty for you. And I've had this is the new texture, but it's based off the other one. But I've had that texture like 5 years plus at this point, and just kind of I liked it. I just liked it so much that I didn't want to change. It just kind of became
It just evolved
me.
into you. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's amazing. Heck yeah. So, we're gonna go a little bit deeper in the conversations here, if you
sure.
don't mind. So, as a streamer, when you're putting your content out there, you're doing the stuff you do, rather normal Twitch streams, the other streams, and have you ever stopped to think that, hey, this is getting too much, or do I feel like I need to do more? Or do you ever go into like a mindset
Oh
to where
yeah.
it bothers you that one way or the other?
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, it swings. It kind of swings, Um, right now I'm definitely kind of in the spot where it's just like I feel like I feel a little burned out because I've kind of been doing this nonstop for about 4 years now,
4
like
years.
nonstop. Yeah, and it after a while it takes a toll on you, and there's only so many hours in the day, but then there's also that drive of like I want to do more, like I really want to do more. Um, you know, you have all these ideas you want to do, but then they fall through and you feel bad, and I'm just kind of in a mindset right now where it's like I don't want to take on too much stuff.
Right.
But at some point maybe like a couple week break might be in my future of just kind of like
Hey, and that's always good to
just
take some
pausing
break.
and
Yeah.
kind of yeah, because I don't know, I never really seen myself as a workaholic, but it definitely sometimes feels like I am, because
Nah, I
sometimes it's
get
just hard to
you.
turn the brain. Especially when you like work at your computer and you also play at your computer, and
Yeah.
sometimes when it's like, oh, I want to play this game, and I'm kind of in the middle of it, it's like,
But you just don't
you know,
want
it
to
could
stare
be.
at a
I could be.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I could be editing right now. I could be like working on OBS or improving something in some way.
So many
Like, why
projects,
am
not enough
I
time.
playing this? Yeah, and it's a struggle, and it's a balance. It's a hard balance, but you know, I've been pretty good about it. But at some point, there's gonna have to be a pause.
No, I get that, and a break, everybody always needs a break at some point. But yeah, like me, I feel that like so hardcore myself. I have like a line of projects myself, and to where it's like, it's like, okay, today I'm gonna work on this, and later I'm gonna work on this, and then tomorrow I can just do this instead of that kind of thing, and you just find yourself into like a constant loop of nonstop, do this,
Yeah,
do
and
that.
exactly, and sometimes it's hard
Yeah, it's Amy.
because there's when it's you're doing content, like you're constantly pushing something out, and then you don't really see a light at the end of the tunnel sometimes. But you just kind of gotta like remember to enjoy it. That it's not just I'm just shoving stuff out. Where it's like you gotta remember to kind of enjoy what you're doing. Which my favorite part is the live streaming. Like, everything melts away as soon as that camera goes live because it's like, this is the part I enjoy. Not so much the editing, not so much the planning and all that, but once I'm live and it's like, okay, I'm here. We're just talking now.
Yeah. Well, Amy, a quick, I have one more question, and then chat. If you have any questions for Amy, feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll be able to get to you right after this question. So, what do you find as the most rewarding out of everything that you do? What do you find is the most rewarding out of it all?
Most rewarding out of it all. It's got to be like the friends you make along the way. And when you never know, especially with like Twitch and when you're streaming, you never know that person that just joined chat, it's first time chatter, that could be like one of your new best friends.
Right.
More than likely it's not, but it can, and it's happened.
Oh yeah.
And one of the most rewarding things is going to like the furry conventions and then like hanging out with them all. Those couple times a year where it's just you get to cut loose,
Oh yeah.
and just hang out with them all. And that's just my favorite part. It's just you never know who you're gonna meet, and you never know who might be like this super awesome person that you never would have met if you didn't put yourself out there.
Oh no, I feel that like there's several times where like like people just want to meet you, or you just come across people like just at a random, you just like join off of a friend and you're hanging out and you end up meeting more people through them, and it's like a spider web of different interactions, especially when it comes to VRChat. Like I don't know how many times, like honestly just recently, that I'm doing my TikToks, and a lot of the TikTok viewers want to actually meet me because they're in VRChat, and some of them are not even furry. They just want to like meet somebody, and you end up meeting people, and you're just constantly just talking and chilling and stuff like that, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
And to kind of link that back to Furality, like Furality is awesome because like you get to like, I feel like that's like one time of the year for VRChat where you get to meet everybody. Like we're all doing the same thing. We're all in this shared space, and I think it's just so fun. Just you get to see friends that like, oh, maybe like you've been on Orange and you got your routine and they got their routine, but now we're here and you get to talk again and catch up and get to enjoy that whole event together. It just I really enjoy the fact that like we're all doing this thing together, and
it's amazing.
That's my favorite part of Furality for sure.
Exactly. And yeah, it's basically like a podcast, but it's what I like to call my talk show. Chat, does anybody have any questions for Amydoggy before we let her go? But I do got one more question.
Yeah.
So you're talking about when it comes to like meeting with people and getting to know them, is like when it comes to IRL versus VR chat, like have you actually had the amount of attention and friendship that you have through your streams, through your VR chat, than when you do in real life?
Um. Yes and no. Like, I mean, obviously, because like, I'm a virtual character. It's not like anybody like really recognizes me unless you see a badge.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, just to you know, with all the friends I've made, and like, I'll be talking about going to these cons for months in advance, and then people like come around like, oh, I want to go too, and then we all meet up. We go to dinner, and it's the love is absolutely
The love
amazing,
is
and
there.
it's
The love is
oh
real.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Well, Amy, thank you so much. We got a comment from Steeler Wolf, like, Amy, you're cute. Absolutely
I do my
adorable,
best.
wonderful being this one is. Yeah. Make sure y'all follow Amy on Twitch and the other platform. Honestly, I didn't expect to see them there, but they're amazing at it, 100%. And make sure to follow them. Click on their name right there in chat. Give them a follow. Show some love. And Amy, thank you so much for dropping by, Bean. You're amazing. Love you, and keep it up. Okay.
I definitely will.
Yeah.
Like I said, I might take a pause, but it's a pause.
It's a
I ain't
pause.
I ain't stopping doing what I'm doing.
Well, speaking of pause, make sure you pick up a drink over there. We got the pause, moss, and claws of your choice, along with donuts and whatnot.
Donuts.
Our
I do
next
enjoy
guest is
donuts.
supposed to be here, but since they're not showing
Hello.
up, we're going to go ahead. Oh, well, there we
Hello.
are. Okay, we got Ulmafar.
I was told to slide in.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess you're taking
Oh.
our next guest.
Damn.
You can turn the colliders off.
The colliders.
The colliders,
Is it all the way?
it's
All-
up
all
on
the
there
way?
in the far
All
wall
the-
in the control room. You have to go up
Okay,
there and
I'll
get it.
run there.
Yeah. Okay. Already done. Yes. Thank you all so much. Again, check her out. She is amazing. Great individual to talk to, as you can see. Pause. Yes. Pause, moz, or claws, chat. Put it on chat. What are you a fan of? I love the pause personally. I love nuzzling those beans. It's But our next guest here up is Ulmafar. Ulmafar is a avatar creator here in VRChat. You guys will know them as the creator of the Cap Can, and also they are a creator of a personal avatar of mine, and I love it so much. You did such a wonderful job. A little bit of edits here, but you know what? New avatars are always needing something, all the time. But yeah, thank you so much. Why don't we go ahead and get the introductions, tell them who you are, what you do, and we can go from there.
Yeah. So where's the camera? Where do I look?
Right there it says camera, look here. Yep.
There you go. I can't read. Anyway, hello. Hello, my name is Ulmafar. I'm an Italian creator. I am objectively pretty new to the whole VRChat avatar creator scene, and I at this point 2 years ago I made my first real attempt on making an avatar, which was, as Niilit said, is the Capkin. I unfortunately don't have it right now on me because, like, I do have it, but it doesn't have my hat on, and I don't want to. I love hats. One thing that you gotta know about me, I love my hats. This is my Hopkin, but I love Hopkins. But yeah, no, who I am. I'm an Italian creator. I live in Italy, so it's like 3 a.m. in the morning, but it's fine.
Hey, don't snap those noodles in half before you put them in the water. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, no, I have some background in. I went to some private art school and learned concept art and 3D modeling. And whenever I finished that, I kind of, I was mid-COVID, so everybody was trapped at home, and I didn't really know what to do. And I started playing VRChat, and I realized, there's a lot of 3D models around here.
Oh yeah.
An awful lot. So I kind of like snuck my way through like one commission to another. I did some art commissions, texturing. You know, how most people I feel start their career in VRChat specifically. This little fantastical bubble of community and 3D artistry, because like
The
let's be honest, like
expression is
3D
amazing.
modeling, 3D modeling is huge.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
everywhere. It's really, really everywhere. VRChat is in itself a very small niche, but that it is a very precious niche for all of us. That especially for people that have played for years, you kind of see models pop up all the time, and it's always nice and refreshing. And I decided 2 years ago to kind of like finally put some courage in me. It was almost New Year's Eve, and I was like, I gotta lock in, and I made the Capkin, and it's on Gumroad. You can check Gumroad and type in Capkin, so it's CAP kin, and that's my boyo.
Yeah.
I've done some pieces of clothing and stuff for it, and the second model, funny enough, is Niilit's model, but you know it was a different approach because I've never done any specific private commission, so it's still a work in progress, I guess.
It very much is. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and what else? I mean,
Well, we can go to the next question.
I am planning on making more models for sure, but it's a matter of like, it's a lot. It's between stresses of life and burnouts and all that stuff, which affect everyone.
Well, let's start off. Let's start with the Capkin.
Yeah.
So you're saying like you started doing your whole like your art and everything like that. So what brought the Capkin together? Like, what was the inspiration? And I know there was other people that were involved in the production of the Capkin. You want to give us some insight on that?
Well, what do you mean in the production? No, like the model itself, I made everything. Like I made from scratch, like completely everything. And that's kind of like one of the big, I guess, flaws in myself is that I really struggle on working with people.
What I meant was like inspiration.
But
like
inspiration-wise, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I'm wearing it. It's the Hopkin. A lot of people not complain, but like confuse the Capkin with the Hopkin, and rightfully so to some degree. But like, you know, I feel like they are distinct enough.
Yeah.
Especially if you like one and the other, it's like they have very long ears, and they got the hips, and they got the tail, and but you know, So one inspiration is definitely the Hopkin, and I love Hubbard and all their avatars.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out for Hubbard. But the second one is, well, as I said earlier, I love hats. I absolutely love hats.
Big hats.
In VR specifically, it's so much better because wearing a hat in real life, you know, can fit people, but some people don't really have the head shaped for it.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
But
Especially the ears. Yeah.
Concept art, just hats all the way. Absolutely. Big wizard hats, small little teensy little hats.
Oh,
it's fine. So it's second one, I wanted to make an avatar that had a hat or multiple, which I did. And the third one was the tail. Like I just love big tails. Like the second hat's in top, second one is tails, third one cute, I guess. They need to be cute. I tried. Some people say that it has got a little bit of a flat head and a little bit too wide, which that's fine. Like one thing, as I said, it's the first model that I made, and prior to the whole VRChat business, I wasn't really a furry in the first place. And making a furry head is not easy. It's not easy.
So you weren't
not
even a furry
normal
when you
head.
first started making it, then?
Well, no. Whenever I started VRChat, I was not a furry.
Oh, when you first
But
started.
then, in the
okay.
years, that's like, what, 6 years ago now.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I was not a furry whenever I joined VRChat. And
So,
look at me
VRChat
now.
converted you into furry, then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
And
what?
gay.
So what? Okay. Adding on to this question, then, so what drew you into wanting to be part of the furry fandom? Then, like obviously, yeah, VRChat, but what actually drew you in?
I think I was, alongside many other people that I'm sure even in chat could probably relate, I was very much a closeted furry, and it was one of those things where VRChat and kind of like delving, as VRChat is chaotic as heck, because especially whenever I joined, it was more like the Uganda Knuckles madness, everything.
Oh yeah,
like,
the
chaos, right?
memes.
And you join people, and you go in a public lobby, and it's not really a community, kinda. It was kind of a jumbled mess, but there is stuff deeper down the rabbit hole. Some really good friends of mine kind of like plucked me out of the madness and kind of like introduced me to people that kind of use VRChat to meet people and talk with people in a serious manner, and not just like play around like kids and do crazy stuff. And that went down a rabbit hole of me understanding and connecting with other people and seeing other people's approach with many things. And I saw these little furry avatars everywhere, and I was like, damn, they kind of look cute. I kind of don't necessarily hate that.
Can't
Because
overlook the
beforehand I was
cuteness.
like, yeah, furries are weird and I don't like furries and stuff, and they're all weirdos, and it's true. Everybody is a weirdo.
I don't care who
furries are
you
special weirdos.
Everybody's weird in some factor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely had an attraction towards like the community, and like I kind of like went down the rabbit hole of finding avatars. And at the time, the first avatar that I picked up that somebody made me clone off of them is the Rikoru, which is like the avatar creator is Forest Wind. They are a Japanese content like avatar creator. They are little fuzzy little creatures that used to be a lot more common, and they got I got cloned. Like I cloned off of a friend of mine, I guess, and I was like a furry for the first time. I was like, wow, this is kind of cool.
Yay!
I like this tail. I gotta chase my tail, and I did for hours. And that at that time I didn't even have VR. So the first 300 hours of VRChat was me in desktop mode, like just being a goof. And then I bought my first VR headset, which was a Rift S, and then it was crap.
Yeah, I heard that was a really bad one. Yeah.
So yeah, funny enough, speaking of like connecting with the 3D stuff, is my Index was bought, and this is a crazy story. Index is like $1,000. It's not
that's
a small amount of money.
Yeah.
I got it too. I still rocking it. My controller is dying, but it's fine. It still holds up considering how much I use it. Thousands of hours.
Through Steam are amazing when it comes to that.
I've heard about it. I've heard.
I actually had to replace my
like,
right one, and they did it. No problems. It was amazing.
I was considering like sending a little bit of a message to Steam support and saying my controller is dead. Like,
if you need help
battery,
on that, just let me know. Like, I could walk you through on how to do it. It's pretty easy.
Maybe. Anyway, point is, I was saying, this was before I was like even really not that much into the modeling side of things, or kinda I was. But what happened is, obviously, I didn't have $1,000 to spend on a headset. I mean, it's a lot of money. What happened is a fortuitous roll of events happened where like someone told me that there was a contest a Halloween costume contest that had, I kid you not, $1,000 as a reward for the first place.
No,
I'm not
shit.
joking. I'm not joking. And what happened is, back in the day, I was co-working with a lot of commissions with many of my first texture stuff and avatar stuff with another person, which, I won't say their name, but because I'm pretty sure they want to remain, private. But
Understandable.
this dude was cool as hell, and they helped me a lot because they did a lot of the Unity side of things, which usually are one of the walls that a lot of people hit with Avatar Creator and all those stuff. And what happened is that we went into that contest and we absolutely blew everybody apart. Like we just won. It was no joke. We went to the contest and there were like maybe 6 people contesting, and we rolled up with this avatar, which was a Hopkin with a sick ass outfit that was so cool, super unoptimized, an absolute offense to everyone in the room because it was packed with so many uncompressed textures and models. But it was really cool. It was really cool, and the judges were like, okay, well, I guess they win.
Oh no,
and we split.
yeah.
So I got $500 out of
That's awesome.
maybe a week's worth, and that definitely helped with the index. And I bought my index because I did halfsies with my parents, and they were fine, gifting me the half, and yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, a friend of mine helped me get my index. Like I had I was trying to save up enough to get it, and I was just like falling short because bills and stuff like that. And
absolutely.
Let me take care of the rest of it and everything. I'm like, are you sure? I ended up getting the bundle. I had like the 2 base stations, the controllers, the headset, and all that stuff. So
index is really a good headset.
And honestly, I went from the Quest to the index. Like the resolution was like,
it's crazy,
mind-boggling. Like you're going from you're going from like N64 to like a PlayStation 3 kind of difference, and I'm like, holy crap.
I stick my tongue out every time.
So getting into the whole avatar creation thing, like you got everything going on that. So what's one of the most challenging things that you faced when it came to creating your Capkin? Like, what was the biggest challenge?
I gotta be honest, like it still is. It's still, damn it, it haunts me. It haunts me. One thing that I did not realize, and obviously now it kind of makes sense, but you can be as good as you can be at making anything. But if it's for a public, you need to advertise.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know how to do that, and nobody knows who you are, what you do, everything.
Yeah.
And I am terrible at it. I'm genuinely, if I have to say, just dog shit at it. Like, I do not know how to advertise myself. I'm too shy to do like video making. I'm terrible at taking pictures for myself. I can do models. I know I can do models, and I know, and I've had commissions and stuff like that, but everybody was like content and fine, and I tend to be pretty okay with going back and forth and changing things and doing things.
Well,
but
everything always needs
whenever I have a product, the product, and if you don't know how to push out and do a video or advertisement of any sorts, you're just gonna get stuck. And I'm kind of like that right now. Like I should have done a lot more with a Capkin, and I kind of regret it. But it's also been so long since I've made the Capkin that right now I kind of want to do a little extra step and do another avatar or something. Or if I want to do something for the Capkin, I'm gonna do other outfits, sure. But like, I think the next step for me in the advertisement thing is kind of do like tie it with a little cute ribbon and just like send it, and that's it. Like advertisement, kind of like video showcasing of the avatar, and see where it goes. And I just put that put it aside. And if people want like more stuff for the Capkin, I'll oblige and I'll do stuff. But I feel like I want to at least try and move on, because otherwise I'm just gonna be like going in circles
the
with the Capkin. I love the Capkin. It's my first avatar.
Yeah, the resources are out there. You got Twitter, you got Blue Sky.
Oh yeah,
you have YouTube, you have all this stuff. But like I always tell people this all the time is like you can put yourself out there by yourself just as easy as the next guy. You can post and post and post and post, but one of the most important things is actually networking. Get to know some people that know some people that know some people. And the word of mouth is one of the biggest things, especially when it comes to the furry fandom. And because word of mouth, that's exactly how the furry fandom started. It started all the way from one small little town and then it just spider webbed, and it wasn't all that much until the internet. And now the internet, you can it's everywhere. You can go everywhere.
I gotta say, like, that's the thing. In these 6 years at this point that I've played VRChat, I've genuinely met an insane amount of people, including surprisingly, famous VRChat content creators, streamers, and all kinds of people. And not like oh, I've seen them in the world. It's like I've engaged with conversation, had a moment with them, and like not really became friends with some of them, but like I've met those people and I've made those connections. It's just that I don't like, not that you want to use that as a token or something, but like, you gotta take the, ride the wave and kind of like take the opportunities.
Yeah.
And I've struggled with that because obviously I know that there is a kind of like, it's not a taboo, but like, you don't want to chase people that are famous just to get something out of them. That's bad. You don't want to do that.
That's clout. I hate clout chasers.
Yeah, exactly. Clout chasers. That's the term. I hate that, and I wouldn't hope for any streamer, big content creator having someone that wants to leech off of them, right, out of the fame or something. Like I'd hate that. It's just I've met those people, and it's nice to see, like, no, sorry, scratch that. It is nice, in my opinion, imagining that if you're famous or the Popufur or whatever, having someone approach you and not talk to you as if you're like an idol. And if you do think that you're an idol, you better step down, because that's not how it works. VRChat is like a
I feel you on
speck.
that 100%.
Like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
It's like you got 100 people watching you. It's not like you're a diva.
Right. Yeah, you like a small amount of people watching you and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, sure, you can be famous, but you gotta
like that's what I always tell
humble.
people. Is like,
I like
me myself, like I'm known, but I'm not even well known. I'm not popular. I'm not like a heavy influencer or anything. Like, regardless of what Google says, Cotton. Like I'm just known.
Wait, did Google flag you as an influencer?
Google flagged me as a popular streamer, and I'm like, no, that's not.
Flex.
No, I'm fucking not. No, I'm not. Fuck you. No, I'm not. But no, it's more along the lines of like, I have friends that are like 5 times, 10 times bigger than me when it comes to content creation and live streaming and stuff like that. But I talk to them like normal people, because they're humans too. We're all fucking humans, like people want to have that feeling. But I've seen my friends like right next to me, someone come to me like, oh my god, it's you, hi, oh my god, like I can, or they're just standing there just staring at them like,
like as if you're like a celebrity.
That's all they're doing. They're just, I'm like, and I looked at my friend and I'm
like plague of like, suddenly you're just above someone, which is not the case usually. Like, it shouldn't be. But regardless,
Going back, yeah.
I've had the opportunity. Many opportunities of, you know, like taking the chance of, you know, doing collaborations or stuff like that. It's just between one thing or another, as I said before earlier, I don't really work well with other people, so it's kind of struggle to even accept the help or the, like, I kind of want to micromanage or manage my own stuff, and I hate. I've done a commission lately that just, oh my god, you know the situation. You know when I'm sure you've had this before, like you've had the situation, because I know you do texturing and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a classic situation where someone has the files for the commissioner, and you are the third party that need to send files to the second party that sends it to the first one, and there's a back and forth that is unsynced, because I'm working on something and I'm sent you the files, and then they miss a file or something messed up, and I like to have everything in my front view so I know that things work, and you don't have to do anything, because if they mess up anything, it's on me. Nobody knows who did something wrong or whatever, and it's like, nah. I just want
I've
my
had
own
situations
stuff.
like that
It
too, to
happens.
where people are like coming to me and say, "Hey, I would like this done," and I'm like, "Okay, well, what do you need done?" And you know, like, what are the parts and everything, and then like I throw it all on Unity, I throw it in Substance Painter, everything's a fucking mess, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need to forward this over to somebody that knows Blender, they can fix it, and then like I'm waiting on them to finish it, and then I'm sitting here and I'm trying to get shit done on like the how I can, when I can, and with what I can. And it's like, well, hey, so how's everything going? It's like, I'm still waiting on them, you know. So I'm like pushing over that way, and then they're saying, well, I'm waiting for this, and like I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm
It's
like,
a whole
you know,
thing.
it's a mess.
Yeah.
You know, and you're sitting there because it's your commission. You're trying to figure. You're waiting on one thing, and you're having to let them know. It's like, I'm doing the best I can. I'm hoping I can get something in the next couple of days. I know the feeling. It's a bitch. It really is a bitch.
Yeah,
Especially when you get
Thankfully,
the end
I'm
results
not
back.
like in dire need. Like, there are people out there that, you know, I gotta say, I am pretty comfortable right now. I shouldn't be, honestly, but part of me thinks that I shouldn't be comfortable, but I am, because graciously my parents are still, you know, allowing me to survive in my own house. You know what I mean? But
Gotcha.
which means that I do have commission money, and I do have money for myself saved up, and I do, you know, I could just go off and try and live my own and get a job and stuff. It's just with the world how it is right now, it's
the economy is shit
possible, but
everywhere, no matter where you
risky
live.
as hell. And there are people out there that do commission work for a job,
For a living.
as a job for a living,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that is nightmarish. Because, like, am I going to eat or not? Because this guy is doing something and he's not respecting my time and all that stuff.
You gotta choose between
it's
like,
horrifying.
okay, like,
Horrifying.
do I get food or do I pay my car insurance, and or you know, you have to like make
that
a
one.
fucking
Yeah,
choice.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, many things. What
So
else? I think I tumbled in.
I'm
like,
gonna
the
open up
questions.
the chat to ask you any questions, but I do have
Sure.
one more question for myself. But chat, if you have any questions, place it on there, and we can ask
Ask
Ulmafar
away.
on it. My final question from me is, what's next? Like, what is in the plans in the future when it comes to avatar creations, when it comes to basically anything? What's next for Ulmafar?
Well, there is a plan that I have of the next avatar that I want to make. That it's gonna be hard, but I feel like I kind of really want to give it a go. I have noticed in my years that there are very, very few bird avatars, like very few bird avatars. And as I said, I'm very new to furry fandom in general, and in general, I noticed that there's also a very few bird personas in general. Avian personas are really rare, and if there are bird personas, they're either parrots or crows, and the standard like generic, no offense, like the standard, if you think of a bird, you think of like three types of birds: a pigeon, a crow, and a parrot. That's it, kinda. There's exceptions like flamingos and toucans and stuff, but yeah, I wanted to give a go at one of my favorite birds, which is a hoopoe, which is a Euro-Asian. It's a Euro-Asian bird. You can look it up. It is very, very funny looking. They have a very long beak, and they have a very long crest that that kind of goes up, similar to the white parrot, the
macaw or something like that.
Macaw. But they flip it up and then they flip it down, and kind of like. But yeah, it's got nice colors, and I want to probably give it a go. I do have already a head of sorts.
That's awesome.
I still want to kind of like figure out the eyes and the eye shape and all that kind of stuff. But the body is going to be the absolute nightmare of me, because as people might surmise, avian avatars in general kind of have wings.
They're awkward.
They kind of have to.
It can be a little awkward too.
Do you want hands, or do you want wings, or do you want arms and wings? Do you want arm wings?
I think the best answer for that would be Ulmafar would be yes.
That doesn't help me.
We do got a question in chat though, from Chrisman. What is the part of a project you dislike working on the most if making an avatar from scratch?
Well, there's stages to it, obviously, but one of my least favorite parts is the Unity side, because there's a bunch of logics or logistics and things that you gotta, because the model can work perfectly fine in Blender, and then you put it in Unity, and you have to realize that exporting a file from Blender to Unity does require some fine tuning of bone rotations and all kinds of like the naming of the bones, and there's a lot of fine little things. Oh yeah, absolutely. And then you have to fluff it up, because the model can be top notch, good stuff, and then you put it in Unity, and then you have to give it life, really, and put the soul into it. And there are people out there that do amazing jobs at it. They do all kinds of animations, they just really give life to an avatar, and that's possibly the hardest part, in my opinion. That if you study animation, that helps a lot. If you study, there's those little
weight painting that can be a problem, definitely.
Weight painting is the modeling side of things for sure, but in the large scope of things, weight painting is non-destructive, and you can just fix it up in time, and
one more
can
thing
help you with
though.
that.
I hate to cut this short, but we do have one more thing, and then we got to get to the next one here. But earlier on, we had a comment from Steeler Wolf. He's like, I still don't see why it angers Italians about breaking the noodles before putting them into the pot. Why does it anger them?
Okay, well, I feel like the answer to that is just, well, one, the pasta is in its shape like it's in that shape, so you're meant to eat it like that. Like the more surface area of the spaghetto, the more it captures sauce, and if you split it, you can't really twist it that well, because either you eat it with a spoon like a kindergartner, or you're not eating pasta nicely, right? Because you put the fork in and you twist it. If you break it, you got a mess. It's not gonna work. You either are like a savage that cuts it with a scissor or something, or I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't like
one.
breaking it either.
But
Honestly, I learned to just put it in the pot and just let it
most
down.
Most people are impatient and they don't understand physics and like geometry because there's a pot and they kind of like, how does it work?
Yeah.
If you put it vertically and you let it go, it's gonna soften and it's gonna sink. You don't snap it and put it in just because you're impatient.
Right.
So that's
well, we got our next guest coming up, and thank you so much, Omar. You're more than welcome to stick on the couch if you want, or you can go back to the guest zone. Your choice.
I can stick around a little bit longer. Yeah.
So, Cotton, who's our
just
next
scooch up.
guest coming up? All right, so we got MikeDaBird. Awesome. Another avatar creator coming up in here, ladies and beans. You probably saw their booth during Furality, and we're going to sit down and get to know them a bit on that. Mike, why don't you give us an introduction, who you are, and what you do?
So, hey everyone, I am MikeDaBird. I am an avatar creator, an asset creator, a streamer, I'll be honest, I won't name everything because I make too much. And yeah, I'm happy to be here to talk about what I do and other things.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining. I met you during Furality through another individual. Your booth is amazing. The avatar that you were releasing or have released is absolutely gorgeous, mind you. And want me to talk about on that. So when it comes to avatar creations, your latest project, why don't you go ahead and start with that?
So yeah, in terms of my latest projects, I've not released too much this year, but lately I have done something I've not really done before. I mean, I've done it before, but never as a public asset. I've done a gambling machine.
Okay.
Which
that's crazy.
Which I mean, you've seen first.
Yeah, that was something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like never seen before. 5x3. It's absolutely insane.
Multiple ones. Yeah. Well, we go ahead. Yeah, talk about it. Let's see what's up.
Yeah. I mean, I can even pop it like on my side here. If
Feel free.
It's not gonna pop in your head. Don't worry. You're on the
just
right
knock
side.
Ulmafar off the couch. Like, make room.
Make room. It's gonna appear right there. Eventually.
How big is this thing?
There we go.
It's gonna be about this big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that is freaking awesome. Yeah, I had the honor of being humiliated by this thing. Honestly, like 7 freaking rolls, nothing. It's rigged.
I mean,
no, I'm kidding.
Mind you, they were playing on this mode,
Yeah.
the single line of 3. But no, why don't you give it a pull for everyone here?
All right. So there we go.
Let's see if you actually get something.
Do I win anything if it lands on anything?
Jackpot.
No, yeah,
I didn't get shit. Again, that's 8 reels, nothing, chat. See?
Nothing. I call it a skill issue.
Do not go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
hell
no,
no.
please don't. Please don't.
Gambling has
You
never
would
been
lose-
my
you would
strong
lose life
suit.
savings.
It has never been my strong suit. Nope. I've been playing the lotto for like 15 years and get shit, so I'm good.
Oh,
I
damn.
never even started. That's scary. I don't want to gamble. That's too much.
Yeah, I don't want to come to Vegas and risk bumping into me. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Nope.
You know-
So you created that reel for what? Like, what was the inspiration behind that?
So mainly what I've wanted to do, like every Furality, I'm doing a raffle.
Okay.
And I would do something just manually, like a wheel spin, that wheel website. But I'd say, you know what, it'd be actually funny if I made it like an actual VR asset that people could actually see and use and interact with.
Heck
It's much more interactive like that, and it brings more people into. On top of, they can actually see what they win instead of having to trust me, bro. And every year I've actually improved on that wheel. The first year it was literally just a slider that you would pull on a handle, and it would slide something if you win or lose.
Oh, okay.
And that was at Umbra. Then at Somna, I did a massive wheel that I wanted to sell initially, but I've realized in the end, even though it's super interactive, it's super fun to use, it's super addictive too. There were complications in actually selling it, because to actually edit the ratios of the wind, you'd actually have to go in Blender, modify the UVs.
Oh.
It would have been way too tedious for just a casual consumer.
Yeah. Nah, it needs to be like drop on avatar, good to go kind of thing.
And you're good to go. And if you want to
Yeah.
customize, just modify a texture or something,
Yeah,
and
the
you're
textures.
good.
Yep.
Which is where the third wheel came, which is this one that you saw, and everyone here saw. Where in this case, it's literally just a VRC3 prefab, just like last year, just drag and drop on the avatar, you're good to go. And if you want to customize the screens and the icons and the windscreens, it's just one sprite sheet. You just go on the texture and modify
That's amazing.
the
Heck yeah.
icons.
That
Nice.
that
And-
makes it so much easier.
The whole machine, the rest of the machine that are not screens, that's just Substance or Photoshop. So super easy to edit. I would have loved to edit the ratios, but because VRChat is VRChat and not allowing specific things on the parameter driver, more technical stuff for the Unity wizards like me, I could not actually make parameters to edit the ratios. If you want to edit the ratios, it has to be through the transitions. At the very least, you don't have to go through the bajillion transitions. You can just go in one set and you're good. But even then, if VRChat had the feature, it will be much more easier to edit the actual win ratios.
Yeah, it's an
But yeah,
amazing
no.
asset. Yeah, and you can find that on
Apart from
Jinxie, Gumroad, or anything like that.
Jinxie and itch.io, they are all up on my profile, MikeDaBird.itch.io or jinxie.com/MikeDaBird. Literally
go.
same name as,
Yeah,
pretty
go
much.
check it out.
Everything else is on there too.
It's amazing. It's an amazing thing. I'm actually contemplating on getting myself at some point.
You should.
I definitely should. Let's talk about your avatars. So
Yes.
when it comes to your avatar creations, like what exactly inspired you to actually go, barbecue?
Did you just call me a
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
First off, you're getting murdered after the show. Second off. But yeah, no, avatar creation has been something that I've been looking forward to, like, ever since I started making just 3D things in general. I started making Blender stuff back, in 2016, 2018, when I was still in high school. And ever since VRChat released and I was making my own OCs and stuff, I was like, I would like to make my own stuff in there. And I've started making slowly but surely better and better personal avatars. And eventually I felt confident enough that I could actually make a product for everyone to use online and on VRChat, would be even Resonate or Chill Out. And this is where I came up with, you probably saw it in the booth, I could also pull one out here. That's where I came up with the AVGen,
Yeah, let's give it a
which
sh-
was
let's give
my
it a look.
first commercial avatar, if I can find it in my uploaded, because I've got 5 bajillion avatars on there. There it is.
There's their link,
This is
everybody.
gonna
Go
be-
check out their Jinxie. They're awesome.
Relatable.
Thank you, Gat.
There we go. So
Oh, yeah.
this is the VRCM version.
I recognize that.
Yeah, I do
Because some of my
recognize
some avatars are also available on the VRC marketplace if you don't want to bother with Unity. The AVGen is one, and there was also the Mike Valley earlier.
That is a brilliant avatar. Yeah, honestly,
Let me
like
just-
especially the animations on the screen, it's amazing stuff. Really amazing stuff. Now,
Really cool. Really cool.
when it comes to that avatar, like everything is like preset. You can do the color changes and everything's like that too on it, or is it just you have to like go in and like manually change them?
So for like retexturing on the source files version, it has to be done through Photoshop and Substance, like a typical avatar. But most of all the animations are already set up for you, so you don't have to bother with trying to animate like this whole thing.
It's
You
so
also
cool.
you don't have to bother about also changing this.
Wait, what does that say? air boot. Oh yeah, that. Must run on Windows then. Jesus.
Oh, that's no. That's not Windows. That's like the old version of Arch Linux. Like they don't work well. Like, you really need to know your stuff.
Oh man.
Actually, it's a custom boot. It's called AVGN OS. Anyways, but yeah, if you go on the VRCM version of this one, you do have some sliders you can customize the colors with. But you also get access to a version that has actually a tool that I've made on top of all my avatars, called EasyB Color.
Heck yeah. So what inspired you to make this one?
So this one, I mean, it was more of like a wee ball kind of thing. But also I didn't see a good protogen bird at the time either.
Oh.
Like, you've seen protogen, there's standard protogen.
I saw one when I was at Aqua. There was one I saw at Aqua. It was like similar to that, but it was more it was taller. It was like more lankier and taller. I don't remember the name of it. I have it on.
Like in a booth, or was it private?
It was in a booth. It was in a booth.
Oh,
I don't remember. It was my first Furality. It was an Aqua, and I saw it, and I'm like, dude, that looks so cool.
I think I know which one you're talking about. It's not protogen though.
No, it's not.
Like, it's
photo. No. If I can try to find it. Let's see.
If you want to find it.
If I do, I can tell you what it's called. I'm not going to get into it, obviously, but
yeah, of course. Like,
yeah, okay,
like,
it's
I've
the
seen...
Fibogen from
probably
Chemixo. Fibogen from Chemixo.
I would have to look it up, but yeah, I've seen a couple of like bird protogens, but usually it's like a private, or it's not super protogen like following the protogen kind of look properly.
Lore.
Like the protogen lore, pretty much. I mean, to be fair, this is not this would not be classified as illegal protogen, to be fair.
Illegal.
Okay, yeah.
That is
even honestly,
I don't
even the
like
protogen creator says that that law doesn't exist.
It don't exist. I know.
Yeah.
It's more of a meme at this point.
It's more of a meme for sure.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I know. But in terms of like something that follows pretty closely what a protogen should look like, I think I've done a pretty good job on this one.
No,
good.
Hold on. I did find it. It is from you. It's the MDB Abidjan demo.
Is this your first model?
The first commercially available model. It's not my first avatar, but it's the first one I put on sale.
Yeah, no, I got it. Sorry. It is from you. The MDB Abidjan demo from MikeDaBird. Yeah, that's the first thing I ended up picking up at my first Furality.
Hey, let's go.
But I find it really amazing. Like the amount of detail, like it's just the armor is just so flashy. It just blends very well. It's so, nice. When it comes to avatar creations, like what got you into avatar creation in the first place? Like, was it just the fact that you just wanted something of your own, or like was it just like you just got tired of the standard everyday avatars that were out there?
It's mainly because as someone that just likes to create stuff, I kind of just wanted something off of my own as well. Mm-hmm. Like I've made my own OC as well, like my brand Sona. I've made it as an avatar as well. It's not in VRChat anymore, but I do still have it somewhere. Some other times I do make an avatar because I like the one, like the looks and feels of one, but I also like parts of another, and it's like nothing's perfect, nothing actually fits what I want. I want something much more just better overall that just fits me.
Right.
Which is actually where the Mike Volley came from. So the one I was rocking earlier, and the one I usually
I know that was definitely a volley. You know, I do like the volleys. Like honestly, my favorite was the paw volley, the Kitavali is actually my all-time favorite. Is the Kitavali just because of the hair? The hair is just sexy. That's all it screams at me is sexy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Volleys are very interesting.
There's a volley for everyone, quite literally.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, that one just has like the cute face, the big eyes, and just the cute face. I freaking love it. The tiny little wings. I do like that one. I know that one is nice. Absolutely.
I mean, tiny wings is because I kind of shrunk mine. If I was to put them back to their regular size, that would be this.
Yeah, it's still very cute. Very, very cute.
Blah.
So you just wanted something of your own. You just wanted to make something just for yourself. And so what led you into actually like releasing avatars, like in general then?
I mean, in a sense, like I've noticed like how my stuff actually, people like the stuff I do. And even before I stole avatars, they just liked what I did overall. And that compelled me, what if I actually try and make something that I could actually sell online? And maybe make like, maybe not a living, because it's never going to be a full-on sustainable source of revenue, but at least something I can have passively on the side. Okay. And when the AVGen came out and I released it, I realized, well, wow, actually, I can actually make something out of what I do.
Yeah.
And this is what pushed me to, you know what, I'm going to continue making these.
So it was a big hit.
My volley.
So was it a big hit right out the door? Like, you just released it and people just wanted it? Or, like, because I know you had your booth, you know, like, I was there on your booth, and you had it advertised when I was back in Aqua. That was your main avatar, like, your big one. So it just blew up from there? Or, like, did it take time?
But from there, it blew up, I'll be honest. When it comes to the EVGen and most of my avatar stuff, the sales really come in to play when it's in the booth, really. The AVGen really sold like hotcakes on the day of release, because that's also the day Furality happened and when the booth was on display. So sold like hotcakes because it was pretty unique. And to this day, still my bestseller, somehow.
That's because like people want that robotic. They want the because protogen's everywhere. It's one of the OG personas created in the furry fandom, and people to this day everybody loves protogens. Like hell, I even have a protogen. I don't use it, but at least I could say like I have it because honestly, it's OG. Like why not? You know. So seeing it on another popular avatar, it just makes sense. It makes sense. It makes things, you know, that much more unique. And hell, like even the I just lost my train of thought. What was I going to point with this?
Avali?
Awawi.
Yeah. Well, even like the Avali came from a video game. It wasn't even originally a furry thing. It came from a video game and just evolved into a furry thing. So it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
The whole spores thing with it.
Yeah,
the whole spore.
Yeah, came from Spore and then went to Starbound.
Oh,
yeah, and that's when
Starbound
Starbound 8 really start. That's honestly, I think, where the Avali really started popping off. When it had the Starbound mod.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Starbound is where like majority of Avali just really picked up because it was a lot more
I never played
accessible
Starbound,
to some degree.
Accessible, yeah.
I never played it.
You wouldn't know.
It's a cool game.
Yeah.
I recommend it. It's a nice game.
I'll have to check it out then. I'll have to check it out. Hell yeah. I'll be
Especially
like,
when you
I'm
mod it,
playing with my people.
Oh yeah, with
let's
mods,
go.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's Starbound, play it modded, you'll have a good time.
Yeah. Next question on my list though is what brought you into the furry fandom? Like, what was the big start? What was the introduction? Like, what's the backstory on that?
Oh boy, the classic backstory on how someone became a furry. Oh boy.
It's a common question.
I blame Disney.
the blame Disney and some people's utopia. Some people. No, me, it was real.
Real.
Oh. Rio, you know the movie from Blue Sky
Rio.
that
Yeah, Rio.
Rio. Yeah, with the bluebirds.
Yeah.
yeah, that when I
Very
saw that back in like 2011, yeah, I'm old. When I saw that back in the day, like I already liked birds already. That was a fact.
Birds are awesome.
Rio just amplified the actual crap out of it.
Mhm.
So a
My
bird
God, it
inspired
started-
bird of being furry. That's awesome.
And
So but yeah, no. I started reciting the lines from the film. I just became addicted, you know, the autism thing. And eventually, when I could actually draw stuff and make models, I started making my own birds, which eventually one became my own OC. And the moment I decided to become like truly a furry, after at least a year of rocking bird avatars, was actually just a random day in Furhub. I saw a poster for Furality 2000. Yes, I've been to Furality since all that time.
Oh my gosh.
And when I saw that poster, I'm like, oh, that'd be actually curious to actually see, just explore myself. I'd look at money. Oh. Well, you know what? Screw this. Calling myself a furry. All right, paying for this. And ever since then, I never backed off of being a furry.
You got
That
your
makes
badge.
sense.
I got my badge straight up there.
There we go.
Officially a furry.
Officially a furry. Let's go.
Yeah.
Mind you, I wasn't a fan of Rio 2.
Yeah, I have a preference for the first one.
Yeah.
I think not that the Real 2 is a bad movie. It's still decent. It
just
doesn't hit
felt-
as
It just felt slow to me. It just felt slow.
a bit slow, and
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
it
about
doesn't
the
hit as-
birds.
it's about the birds. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, when the whole premise of the first movie is that these are literally the only two birds of that species left, to, oh dear God, there's an entire forest of them.
Yeah, it kind of defeats the purpose of the first movie. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, on top of that, the actual bird itself, which is a real species that actually, under extension potentially,
that
at least in the
frog,
wild, like it's
That
like,
frog,
oh, that
though.
fucking that frog.
Oh my god.
Wait, that
People
bird
know.
is like
People
what?
know.
It's a frog. Ah, God.
I'm sorry.
But I was just gonna say, like, that bird is actually a real bird, and yeah, I think last time I checked, it was like 120 left in the world or something.
Not many.
Mhm.
So like, it's
No,
actually an
there's not
extension. Not many. Definitely less than Rio 2, that's for sure.
I mean, they're going the way of the panda, like pretty damn close to it. There's not many left.
Yeah, even with the efforts, yeah, it's
Yep.
it's sad to see, because it's
like,
like the
fuck
bird that inspired
already.
me for being a furry.
Yeah, I mean it's nature. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
not even a
It's-
man-made issue. It's completely evolution-wise
I mean,
thing.
I mean, it's still a little bit man-made because of deforestation, but still.
Yeah, but it's mostly they don't want to
You know-
interact with each other, and they're very picky with the partners. And I was like, yep, that's how
Yeah,
it goes.
there's that too. I've seen the things, yeah. No.
Honestly, if
Like
furries
pandas.
were real, if the anthropomorphic was actually real, humans would have died out decades ago.
Oh yeah, no, we're taking them over
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah,
But there would not be that
that's a
many.
whole discussion.
No. Right.
No, maybe not at least.
So, like you said, you streamed. So, like, how's all the whole stream thing? Like, how's that going for you?
It's going pretty well. I'm currently on the break of stream at the moment, just after Furality, you know.
Right.
But it's going well. I honestly just stream because I just like streaming and showing what I do. Like, I stream creative stuff. I can stream making an avatar, making an asset, working on commissions, but also do the casual gaming streams as well.
Yeah.
And whenever people show up, I do actually appreciate it. As you know. I don't. It's not my main source of revenue, though. Even though I'm affiliated on Twitch, I don't consider it my main source. My main
Right.
source really is from, it's really from like the avatars and assets and, just everything else.
Which does
But
beg
it's
a
just
next
really just
question,
fun.
though, is chat, if you have any questions for MikeDaBird, feel free to put it on chat, and I'll ask it right after mine here. So, when it comes to MikeDaBird, what's next?
What's next? So after my break, I am planning to. I will be going back to work, into just working on assets and the new avatar, because I do have one avatar in the works that I do plan to release next year. But I will be slowing down my work. I won't be hammering everything like I've done for the past few years. I will be keeping a bunch of this time to actually be with my new partner and friends, and just, you know, maintain a healthy friendship and relationship with people.
Taking it slow and just
Yeah.
enjoying life. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, on top of being in school again, to get a new field, because my field of game dev is absolutely dead in the water when it comes to the job market.
Yeah, economy's gone shit.
You say
lately,
game
yeah.
dev?
Yeah,
Oh,
I used to
awesome.
make a bunch of games, and well, at least personal games, but
Still
never
something?
actually.
If you need a demo
never
player,
actually
I'm
entered the
in.
market with that. Oh my god. Never
Is it
released a
bird
commercial
games?
game though. Some of them, but I've tried out also other things too. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, one of the game jobs I've done actually made born another one of my avatars that is actually the free one that I have for offering. If I can quickly find it. But yeah, no, chat, you can ask me anything if you want.
So somebody said keeping up with relationships is very important. I can absolutely
Super
100% agree with that. Yeah, so that is MikeDaBird, everybody. Check them out. They're on Jinxie. They're on Gumroad. Show some love and just enjoy their stuff. And thank you so much for joining in. Oh, what's up?
Yeah. What is it? What is it like? What is like the main thing that like you really like about birds? Because I love birds. Like I've grown to understand that about myself that I actually really like birds. They're awesome. What do you
So
like
here's
about
the-
birds?
So here's the thing about me. I don't know.
It's the
Everything.
cloaca.
I mean,
We all
I
know
mean, they're
it's the
cute,
cloaca.
No, I mean, I actually don't even like that. I mean, for me, I guess they're cute. They're colorful. They can be expressive. They can fly. Just adore burps.
Super intelligent.
Very.
And some of them, are fucking dumb as shit.
Unless
But-
there's a
yeah,
window
well,
involved. Yep.
It's a
especially
spectrum.
when Windows are involved. But I do also run into Windows at times. I'm an actual bird.
Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should also correct the Gumroad. God forbid Gumroad. Jinxie or HIO. God forbid Gumroad.
Oh, so no Gumroad. Okay, my bad. So
I
it's
have a Gumroad, but I don't
Itchy.
advertise it because
Itchy-io,
of the fees.
okay.
Yeah, no.
HEIO,
HIO.
Jinxie. Yeah, go there, not Gumroad. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm just so used to saying Gumroad because Gumroad's actually slowly
That's where
dying when it comes
most
to
people are, but
popularity.
like
They're
Believe
going
me,
all
I could,
the
I could take an entire segment of this show just to vent about Gumroad. Their fees
That
and
will
their
be.
malpractices.
We could do that next month. How about that? But anyway,
Okay.
we got our next guest coming up. Thank you so much, Mike. You can slide
gonna-
on down that way if you want. Oma, thanks for
I'm
joining
going
in.
to leave.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
This is
Get the fuck out. Our next guest is a very popular one, and you may not know them, but you have been in their world. We have Lt.Shadow here, the creator and owner of Furry Hideout, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, LT? How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. Sorry for being a little late.
Nah, you're more than understandable. Oh, what was that? Got a big ass glitch. Okay, anyway, sorry. Like everything just went silent. That was weird. Anyway, but thanks for hopping in. I know you're late and you're probably busy, and thank you so much for taking the time to come down here and, talk with us. So why don't we go with the introductions? Let chat know who you are, what you do, and we'll go from there.
Alright, so where's camera at? Look there? Okay.
Yep, at the look there.
So hi, I'm Lt.Shadow. I am a world creator. I created the Furry Hideout world within VRChat. It's the most current popular furry world within VRChat. That's basically it. That's basically what I'm known for.
Well, Awesome. Yeah, we all love the world, honestly. Since I've started in VRChat years ago, I actually went there and just to see if I can find more furry friends because I didn't really have any. And lo and behold, I just put in furry right on the word search, and Furry Hideout was like one of the first ones on there, and I actually met up a couple people there, and it was very different then, very, very, very different then. So why don't you tell us like the evolution of Furry Hideout, like what inspired you to even start it?
So, I'm gonna be honest. I started with avatars. I worked on avatars for the longest time.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And
Okay.
loved working on avatars. Did a couple commissions, did all that fun stuff. And then I just wanted to learn more about Unity. So I was bored. And that's literally the easiest way to say how I started the Furry Hideout. I had a bunch of free time. It was summertime. Started working on a project, learned about that project, and slowly over time it just became popular. And I ended up doing update after update, change after change, because I'm gonna be honest. Once you learn something new, you want to put
You
that
just
into
want to
practice.
add
So I'll work
more.
on other.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I worked on other projects. I worked on other games. Worked on a bunch of other stuff, and I learned more from Unity, from modeling. And then I took that and put that into the actual Furry Hideout world. So basically, the Furry Hideout world is my cumulative experience from the last 5 years of learning Unity, learning all the modeling tools, learning all the programs, and so on. So it's definitely evolved. It has had a little bit over 3,000 updates. That is a rough
Jesus.
number. That is a rough number. Each time you update the world within the SDK, for example, if you do a Windows update, it counts as one. If you do a Quest update, it counts
No
as one. And now
shit.
iOS counts as one. So when you do updates, it counts. So it's more within a thousand
Oh my
updates
god, I
within
didn't
the last 5
even
years.
know that.
I think it does the same for avatars too. Like if you update
It
the
does
Quest
for
version,
avatars,
it does, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
and you need to keep them up to date and the same.
Looks like we got somebody in chat that knows you. Real Boondoggy. Oh my god, that my baby. I love you.
Oh, that's my boyfriend.
Hey, hello. Okay,
He's stream
so
sniping.
you were just bored and just said, you know what? I'm gonna make a world. That was it.
Yep. I saw the joy that it brought people's faces, and I was like, hey, people enjoy this space. Let's try to make it better for them.
Did you ever think it would actually become that popular?
I'm going to be honest, no, but I did push for it to become popular. You have to put in a certain amount of effort. At the time, there wasn't many worlds that filled that niche and filled it properly.
Well, what's the in depth on that then? Like what did you do to actually push for it?
Well, if you actively sit in your own world and force people to stay in your world, then over time, more friends will join that instance, be in that world. And at one point, once it gets like enough players, it'll start showing as active. And once it's on the active page, more people will actually be able to view it and explore it, etc.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have a few worlds myself. I mean, you're in one of them, but this is more of a private thing. But I do have a couple of public ones. One is my main one, which is Niilit Chill Out, and I've been spending on that for like over 2.5 years, just working on it, updating. I just did a complete rebuild of it, and I'm still like working on getting people to like go into it because I built it for my community. I mean, I don't have a large community, but it's still there. And like, how do you get people to actually like go in and stay after you've like introduced them to it?
So realistically, it's really hard to make people stay. All you got to do is just be there and be a familiar area, and people just ended up chilling in the Furry Hideout. They said it was the new FTAC. It was uploaded probably about 6 months after Furry Talk and Chill, give or take, and it was a horrible world. It wasn't the best world, but somehow it was better than the previous worlds that they went to. So they ended up just staying. It just filled a niche at a right time because it was COVID, peak COVID
COVID,
time.
yeah,
And a lot
COVID
of
is a
people
big
were
one.
home. This day and age, a lot of people they'll spend a lot of effort, a lot of time. They'll spend probably about a year working on a world, upload it, a couple days, filled with maybe 20 people, and then it just falls straight to the ground because
Yeah.
the way VRChat's set up, there's no way for a role
I mean,
to
that's pretty
properly
much
get
anything these
pushed.
days. It's pretty much anything in anyone these days. You get like new actors, singers, bands, worlds, avatars. You know, like they get it because it's awesome, it's new, it's there, it's what you're looking for, and then next thing you know, the new thing shows up, and everyone floods to that. They just follow the trends, as they say.
Oh,
But
most
still,
definitely.
Furry Hideout is still one of the most popular furry hangouts, like to be in. And I've actually met some people that they're not even furry that enjoy the world just because it's just really, it just brings that vibe, you know, like the open world, open space. You can go anywhere and just enjoy yourself kind of thing. So when it comes to the world, like what was one of the biggest struggles that you had making that world?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Just learning everything is gonna be the struggle because there's always something you could do to make a world better, new lighting, new systems, etc. And there's probably 1,000 different things that have made me scratch my head when it comes to working on projects. I would say the upgrades that they have done with the SDK, for example, going from 2 to 3 to whatever version we're at now, has killed my project a hell of a lot.
I feel that.
Especially when it comes to swapping over and upgrading, and that's probably going to be the worst thing that I have to deal with. But it's been pretty good as of recent. GitHub repository has done a lot of wonders when it comes to future proofing.
Okay. I mean, I have like people show me certain things in the world that just either one, it doesn't make sense, or two, like you really need to fix this because it's bothering the shit out of me kind of vibe. And I think I know who you're, I think you know who I'm talking about. Like, is there certain things in there that you purposely did and left it there just because? Or
Out
is
of
it just
spite.
like, is it just hard to like rearrange everything just to fit that void?
So could you specify the item specifically so I
Okay.
can try to think?
All right.
Because there's some
So,
stuff I've added as jokes and just to
okay.
have fun, etc.
So there's some lighting that goes along a stone pathway, and like the light, the lamps that are placed along that, the gappage on it, it just does not make like lined up
Oh,
sense.
you don't
You
like
know,
the gap edges. I got
like
you.
like some are like this, some are like that, some are like this, and then you know it's
Are you
like
talking about the ones near the moon pool, that little location that looks up
yes.
towards the moon? So I haven't pushed an update. I was actually working on this earlier today,
Oh, okay.
and I fixed that because it was bugging me too, and I was adjusting all that stuff the last couple of days and working on some other stuff.
So, and symmetry is also another problem too, because there's some stones that are like closer to others than others are not. You know, just like, and then don't get me started with the window railing as well. I'm not trying to shit talk your world. I'm just pointing stuff
No,
out just to let
you're
you know.
fine. Constructive feedback's always
There's
welcome.
there's some glass railing that it's, again, symmetry is just not there when it comes to a lot of them. There's gaps, and there's not, then there is, then there's
Glass
not.
railing, or you mean like the regular railing?
I don't
I don't
remember
believe we used to
exactly.
have glass railings.
Uh,
We don't do that anymore.
there's a. I'm just gonna say it here. Cotton pointed it out to me at one point. It says like, "This is debugging the shit out of me," and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that was on the old world. I showed
That
you
was on
how
the
it was
old world.
before we did the
Oh.
updates compared to what it
Yeah.
is now.
Oh, okay.
So I showed him the legacy world, and then I showed him the new world, so you could see like the evolution of the hideout.
Okay.
Still some
Yeah,
symmetry
those are
issues,
just some of the
but
old
yeah.
versions.
So, what is one of the biggest challenges though when it comes to world building? Like, is it like just placement? Is it like figuring
It's
out
just time sync.
where is what's going where kind of thing? Like, what's one of the things that just makes you pull your hair out?
Lighting, but once you learn stuff enough, there's always tools that make stuff so much easier. Um, I would say probably keeping the design like properly scaled, probably my worst thing, my worst quality, because sometimes you'll make stuff that just feels unrealistic and it feels kind of uncanny. It doesn't feel that comfortable. And it's really hard to get like a lot of stuff perfect. So you have to use a lot of real world specific examples.
Right,
For
references.
example, yeah, you have to use a lot of proper references for height. You have to know the scale of a door, and you have to make sure it fits within the furry S scales because he's short. I am 2 meters in this avatar specifically. You're probably a little smaller, give or take.
Yeah.
But like realistically, there's a lot of scales to play with, and you want it to at least look right on both sides and something that you would see in the real world, so people are more comfortable with.
You got to find an average.
If you go too cartoony, yeah.
Yeah, I find that a bit of a challenge too. Like, because I know there's people that love being in small avatars. They're like 0.9 or lower. And then you got the people that just like to be big. They're like 2.5 meters or something, and like trying to find that middle ground to where it pleases everybody is never an easy thing. It never really is. Especially when it comes to things that you want them to interact with. Like, for example, like in my world, like I have a coffee maker, and the damn thing's only about maybe about yay high on a shelf, but then you got somebody that's like 2.5 meters tall, and they're like, I don't want to shrink down just to use the freaking thing, and then you got the small people, and they're over at my bar, and they're like, I want to eat the chips, but now I have to like, either scale up or try to figure out a way to jump on top and stuff like that. So I totally get that. So when finding like the proper scale for everybody, like do you use a particular like method on how you keep everything in average?
So originally when I made the world, the scales were definitely not perfect. And like just adjusting it over time. I would use we had used the capsule object in Unity. I believe the default scale size is 2 meters.
2 meters.
Just use that. 2 meters tall. Perfect height for like almost every character. That's almost normal height in the US for door frames, etc.
Yeah.
So if you use that to use as like a reference, it helps you keep a lot of stuff within scale.
Yeah, that's what I use. But I put mine at like 1.8 because personally I like being at 1.8. But 2 meters is always a good way to go as well. Absolutely. So you said you did avatars. Like, what kind of avatars did you do? Did you actually make your own avatars?
Well, I did mostly just like pre-texture skins. That's kind of basically it. If I did more with avatars, I'd probably not be in a Vue right now.
Right.
Probably in the better bunker like me just working on my stuff.
Right. So tell me more about that. Like, you went from avatar retexturing and things like that to just world creation. Like what was like the transition? Like, what was the transition like? You just wanted just to make a world for, and then just.
Transition was basically, I used to have a really shitty just desktop laptop. Really, really, really simple keyboard. I ended up killing on accident. Didn't have enough money to get it replaced, so I was just using a mouse for the longest time to actually work on stuff. And I took it upon myself to start making worlds with only a mouse and using all that. So it made me learn a lot of stuff about Unity really quickly.
Oh God.
And it's terrifying. It really is. And transition from avatars to worlds like within a day because I was bored. I wanted to play with something. I wanted to make a world. People make such cool worlds, and first worlds I made were extremely horrible, but they ended up basically shaping what I ended up doing in the future.
Well, you always have a starting point somehow, like learning projects and stuff like that. So, was it? Are they worlds that we may know today, or are they just no longer exist?
They still exist. They're mostly private.
Oh,
They also include iterations of early furry hideout worlds. So what I used to do is, since the local test build some reason wouldn't work on my PC, I would upload a version, go in client, and actually take a look at the world. So
privated,
the
yeah.
only reason those worlds like are still saved and I can go back and experience the mistakes I've made, especially the problematic world versions, etc. I can. It's mostly just PC only though. It's a bunch of broken worlds, so I upload it as test worlds to actively go in and check out the world and see what could be fixed, what was broken, etc.
Oh, okay. If not including myself, I'm pretty sure there's other viewers right now. Like, what would you recommend as a good starting point if you're wanting to make your own world? Like, what would you recommend start doing or using when it comes to building worlds?
Um, so if you want to get a really quick start, I recommend you download a couple of tools, like for example, VRC World Toolkit. Wonderful tool. It'll tell you things about systems that you're currently using. For example, don't make your lights real time. Don't use screen space reflections. Don't use grab passes, etc. And it just gives you a bunch of general pointers, and it has tools that allow stuff to be easily fixed. Bakery does a wonderful job with
Oh
baking,
yeah.
and then Pro Builder. For years, I used Pro Builder before I started branching out into Blender. And as you mentioned, some of the stones were uneven on that retaining wall in
Yeah.
the hideout. That was my attempt at Blender because I've been learning Blender the last couple of months officially instead of using Pro Builder.
Okay. So, do you want to start off with a small world, or do you want to do you recommend like just grabbing just space and then just start building up from there?
It depends on how creative you are. If you make a space that's too big, it makes it really hard to fill and make it feel natural. For example, I made Furry Hideout. Furry Hideout, like originally was just one building, didn't have much in it, maybe some furniture. If you were in the Furry Hideout beginning of this year, there's probably like 3 couches in the whole entire fucking row. Excuse my language.
No, you're good.
And um, best thing to do is like actually get furniture packs, explore the aspect of making a small world, fill that space, understand how you would walk through that space IRL, and how you could like properly fill that space, make it feel homey, make it feel cozy, make it feel alive. And it's kind of hard to do that sometimes, especially when you have a really large, massive open space, unless you do like dividing walls, etc. So there's many different things you can do. I recommend
Yeah.
just starting small, and if you want to start big, you're gonna have a mouthful, but
Oh
you
yeah.
can do it.
Yeah, I actually started small because I was afraid of that exact thing. If I make something too big, I'm never gonna fill it. And when I first started Niilit Chill Out, like I didn't realize how big I made the inside. It just started off as like inside of a building, just inside, and like I just like put in rails. I put like the TVs in there. I started putting like railings and like little cubbies and stuff like that. And then I went in and like I uploaded it just as a little tester, and I'm like, the fuck am I gonna fill this all with? So yeah, like
Yeah.
decorations and everything. And what a lot of people don't realize is that one of the biggest struggles in world creating is making it quest. It's one of the hardest things to do when making a world, because like you build a world, it's perfect for PC. You got decorations, you got this, you got that, you got knickknacks, you got all this other
I
stuff
tend
going
to
on.
disagree, but
Okay, that was my next question. Is like you made this world pretty vast, but yet it's also quest. Like, what do you recommend when it comes to PC versus quest kind
so
of changes?
the limits to Quest, for example, the main furry hideout world on PC is a little bit over 100 megabytes. Quest needs to have 100 megabytes. That's
Or
the
lower.
hard limit. If you go
Mm-hmm.
past that, it won't let you upload, etc.
Exactly.
So it has to be 100 megabytes exact or below 100 megabytes. And once you do that, all you really need to do is make sure that any specialized shaders, for example, water shaders, are Quest compatible. You can take all your materials for your whole entire world, put it into one folder, select them all, and just swap them in the top right corner in the inspector tab to, for example, I do Mochi shaders because they offer mono SH, bicubic light mapping, etc. And I'll just swap it to light map standard, and then I will upload for Quest, and it works perfectly fine. There's some issues between Quest 2 and 3. 2 has more limitations, so there will be issues that you'll see on Quest 2 that you won't see on Quest 3. For example, the Z buffer. You have to make sure objects are properly spaced apart or they'll flicker and cause issues. And you also have to be extremely careful with what's being rendered, because some shaders, for example, Mochi Uber X or whatever they call their premium shader, that will cause visual artifacting for Quest 2 and probably crash them. Even though it'll let you upload, it'll crash them. So there's definitely some
So you
easy
recommend
ways to.
Mochi over any other kind of shader when it comes to world development?
I recommend Mochi because it's very useful. It's very versatile. It's pretty optimized. For a lot of starters, I would choose Bakery Standard because it's really optimized. Doesn't have any extra stuff, etc. And you can also do pretty decent things with it. But if you're gonna move to something better, Mochi, especially because of all the extra good stuff it got.
See, and that's the one thing I had to struggle with, is like what kind of shaders to use for a VRChat world. Personally, I use the Autodesk shader because it works for both exact same way as PC and Quest. You don't have to change a damn thing. But the one thing I do notice that I struggle with is optimization for the textures itself. So Mochi is the one that you would want to do to actually have it convert into something more optimized, or is it just take a standard, like, and just put it in?
What I would recommend you doing is Mochi for main, and then when you swap over, there's options within the texture that allow you to override for, like, for example, Android and iOS. When you bring a texture in, you got to make sure those are checked and override it to maybe half of what the PC normally is. Once you do that with all your textures, you can leave it and forget it. Because, for example, the Quest version is like 99 megabytes, so it just needs to compress just a little bit. So if you go through and just optimized a couple textures, it'll help a fair bit. And it also helps for the RAM side on Quest, because Quest has very little RAM to render worlds, etc.
No, okay. Well, I'm going to open up. Anybody in chat has a question for Lt.Shadow here? After my next question here, we'll go ahead and throw it on to you. Just place your questions right there in chat, and we'll go ahead and ask them. My biggest question for you is, when it comes to your world, are we going to be expecting anything more, or are things just going to get improved?
Well, since I'm always learning new things and changing stuff and working on new projects, it's just gonna get quality of life improvements, general stuff to make the world look prettier, stuff to make it more optimized. A couple weeks ago, I was able to get the furry hideout world to like around 200 FPS just on a a specialized
Wow.
client version, which I use for testing, which is it's pretty decent, especially when you're doing it via desktop. And the more FPS you can get, the better experience you can get for a lot of players, because lag is definitely something that not a lot of people want to deal with, and they'd rather go someone else. Avatars are a big problem, though. You can't get proper stats, so
No, you can't.
I work around with it.
Yeah. So are we expecting just improvements? Is Furry Hideout just going to be the main thing, or are we going to be expecting like another world anytime soon?
I upload worlds pretty often. If they get popular, I'm not gonna really try to push them to get popular. But yes, there's always gonna be new worlds, new projects that I work on. Sometimes my name's not even on the project, but I helped out significantly. Right now, I've been kind of working with VRChat. I don't work for VRChat. I work with them. For example, if you remember April 1st, we had the grass touching event, and then before that, we had the VRRAT invasion, where basically I got a bunch of community leaders and world creators involved to do something goofy for April 1st with VRChat. I organized the last 2 April 1st events, so I've been working with VRChat to hopefully do more
That's
community-based
amazing.
stuff.
That is amazing. We got a question here from Real Boone. Does your world sparkle in the moonlight?
Ignore Boone. That's an inside joke. We're just not going to answer that.
Any final thoughts or anything you want to share with the viewers before you go?
Let me go try something.
It's a question that not many people ask me specifically, but a lot of experiences within the Furry Hideout are usually good. There's definitely problematic people. Realistically, the furry community is normally problematic. But there's also good things within the community. I have seen people meet friends that they have made lasting like relationships with. I have met so many people that have said they've met in Furry Hideout and that they're getting married IRL. And recently, I had a friend of mine say the words to me, "You're gonna be a dad," and I'm like, "What does that mean?" And it turns out him and his girlfriend are having a kid, and they met within the Furry Hideout. So
that's amazing.
it's stuff like that. Connections are the important thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have many stories, good and bad, when it comes to being in your world, especially having so many people visit there, like 6-digit favorited, freaking millions of people have gone there, come and go, and honestly, again, like it was one of the first ones I ever visited to meet some furry friends and just build up my community. So yeah, LT, it's been an honor meeting you. You are amazing. Keep up the good work, and I guess just like anybody else, I would looking forward to seeing these improvements in the world. And thank you again so much.
You guys have a good one. Be safe.
Yeah, you're welcome to slide over, or you can jam. There you go. Oh, that was amazing, guys.
I didn't get pushed.
Hey, I gotta run, you guys.
Yeah. Now, you're welcome to stick around if you like. It doesn't matter.
You want to, you can take this
Next
off.
guest,
Just have
ladies and beans,
Writerfluff.
is a wonderful white puppy we all know and love. My inspiration
Okay, now that
and
Writer is
great
on,
friend,
I can take it
Writerfluff,
off. You can
ladies
take
and beans.
3 seconds
Writer,
left.
welcome. Thank you so much for
Hello.
coming and taking the time to come and chat with us.
I'm actually gonna.
Hey. How's it going?
Hey. Hello. Oh my goodness. Finally get to have you on here. I've been really wanting to actually have a nice sit down and chat with you. My goodness.
Yes.
Been
Here I am.
it's been years. Let's get things started. For those of you that don't know you, why don't you share who you are and what you do?
Writerfluff. I stream. I mean, that's pretty much it. I have fun. I used to do mostly VRChat, like 99%. Got more into other stuff. Do a lot of D&D now. Walkabout, of course. Love Walkabout. I'm in their ambassador program too.
Ambassador
pretty
program.
good. Yeah. Got a logo for it and everything.
Oh wow. That is amazing. Why don't you
Yep.
tell us more about it?
Well, it's just like their little content creator program. Get a little special Discord to get a badge for your stream, and they give you the. Actually, I don't know how much I can say, but you might get certain things before they release, so you can try them out, and you get devs that play with you sometimes. That's how I met a good friend of mine.
Awesome. Heck yeah. Well, so you do you're well known on Twitch. You do various amount of things, especially for
Relatively.
VRChat, and just have a whole bunch of fun. I mean, heck,
Yep.
when I first saw you just bring the vibe. You just have fun and just welcome people in and just share your experiences. And I think that's one of the best things
Yeah.
about VRChat is being able to do that. So why don't we start from the beginning? What actually inspired you to actually start streaming?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what whim it was that drew me to look up VRChat, but I'd heard about it, and I don't know. I guess I was just in a bored part of my life, and I was like, "Huh, I've been hearing about VRChat. Let's look it up." So I go to Twitch, and of course, I found the big creator that was like doing the uh, goofing around. They got 3,000 people, and I'm like, "Ha, that's cool." But then I went down. I was like, let's see who else is. Let's see if I can find any furries.
Mm-hmm.
So we went down the list of just us average Joes, and I found Vix Vox Fox and
Vix,
Vice Cream
yes.
Cake. Yep,
Yep.
it's Vix Vox Fox, Vice Cream Cake, Cozy Fate, Luto-san, Samoy Edible. They all had this little group that they would hang out, and I was like, that's really cool. And actually, funny story. Dewey the Fennec, Dewey the Fennec?
I know Dewey, yeah.
I started watching Dewey before I changed my persona to the white dog. I know he even knows who it was because I didn't say anything.
Oh yeah, you showed me that video. You were in a tiny little thing, and like you were at a wedding, I think it was, or somebody like proposed or something.
Oh no, that was after I started streaming. This was before I even had VRChat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before I even had VRChat, back when I was my old persona.
Oh wow.
My
okay,
old name even. I changed my name for this.
Oh, okay. Well, let's roll back to the beginning and continue.
Yeah, so I saw them, and this was before I had VR. I was like, that looks cool. I'm gonna go buy VR because I was still working at Walmart, and I had my giant tax return coming. I was like,
yeah.
ching! I put it down for a VR set, and still using the same one. Well, replacement parts, of course, but I went in, and Vice actually is still to this day amused by my DM. I was like, oh, you're so your model's so cute. I saw that white hopkins. I had to message you, and would it be okay if we met sometime? All timidly. Vice is like, oh, I'd love to.
I know that feeling.
Then of course I was hanging out with Vix and in their instances at night, feeling so self-conscious, like, oh my god, I hope I don't get in the way, and this and that. And then one day I was like, man, I could try streaming. I hope I'm not imposing. So I asked them, I was like, is it okay if I start streaming sometime? They're like, oh yeah, go right ahead. So I just started doing that, hanging out. And at the time I just gotten the full body, and I was like, wonder if anyone's done yoga with VR. I'm gonna try that.
Oh, man.
So for my first 30 days I did yoga every single day, and
let's go.
Yep. I do yoga for an hour or two and then go hang out with Vix, and that's how I started.
So you just got inspired on VR, just finding people on Twitch and hung out with
I literally just
them
went to the
and-
VRChat category and scrolled down until I found people I liked.
Hell yeah. And so it happened one was Dewey. That's freaking cool. Yeah, I've actually
it was Dewey.
I ran into Dewey like a handful of times before I even realized who the hell they even were. So I get that. That's freaking cool. So you got the VR. You were inspired to like, hey, you know what? Let me give this a try, and just started streaming. And
Yeah.
so from there, like what what pushed you to actually continue?
Positive feedback, probably.
Positive
Growth.
feedback.
Because, you'd go from 1 to 2, and then you see 3, and then you get affiliate, and you're like, oh my goodness. I actually have 3 consistent people watching.
That's
I'll
amazing.
entertain these 3 people. So you do that, and, then you send a raid, and it's 5, and you're like, oh, cool. And then it's 10, and you're like, wow, I'm on top of the world.
So avatars. So obviously you're well known as the white puppy. So
Hmm.
before the white puppy, what did you have?
Actually, I was not I didn't have a main of anything in VRChat. There was about a 2-week period I was on desktop before I got my index.
Oh, wow.
And actually, I have it here somewhere. I knew nothing about VRChat. So I would actually ask someone on stream, like, hey, where's a good world to get avatars? And they suggested one, which used to be like Maru's Hub or something, or Mari's Hub. And I found this, and I thought it was, it'll change. I found
Oh
this
my
little
gosh.
thing.
So tiny.
I know. Yeah, and I loved it because it had Gogo Loco. I didn't know what Gogo Loco was at the time. I just knew when I, pressed Z or whatever it was to sit down, that it went,
Yeah.
like this. And I was like, oh, I like that. And then when you press whatever to lay down, it would do this. And I'm like, oh, cool. I like that
Oh.
instead of the awkward crouch.
Yeah.
So I was
yeah.
using that.
Yep.
And then I was watching someone, I forget. I think it was Sari Kitty, actually. You remember Sari?
Oh,
Littlefoot?
go Burr.
I haven't seen them in like years, but they used to stream, and they were like a purple striped cat. And I was like, hey, where'd you get that model? And like, oh, it's Hobbert's model. So went to Hobbert's Patreon, signed up for that. It was $10. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm going to get all the models.
Let's go.
Uploaded one of every single model. I was looking at them in the mirror. And then when I got to the Arflin, the white Arflin, because I uploaded one of every color,
Mhm.
it's like, oh my God, this lines up exactly with a character I've been using in the past. It just feels too right. So I
Feels
was
like
using
you,
the Arflin.
right?
Yeah, I was like, this is me. I'm just going to keep using this. This is me.
That's freaking cool. So yeah, and that's been a question I've asked a few other people amongst ourselves. Asked is like they got the white model and they never changed it. It's just still the standard.
Still the
Still the
same.
standard white, like Hobbit white puppy. So like,
Yep.
obviously you made some changes, but like, what made you
I
not
added
want
bows.
to? What made you want to keep the standard? Like, why not change it up a little bit?
Well, to be fair, 90%, because I love it. It's just cute, and it's me. Why change it if you love it?
Yeah,
the 10%, branding. All my emotes are the Arflin. My channel's the Arflin.
Okay.
People don't like change. You change your model, they're like, where's the old writer?
Right. So basically, just your signature is the white puppy.
Yeah, and I figured if I changed anything, that positive reinforcement from earlier as I was growing and trying to reach partner, I'm like, well, if I change anything, I'm going to lose people, and I don't want to lose people, so we're not going to change anything.
Oh, there you go. I mean, there's your answer, chat, right there. That's the brand. He's right there.
But that was only 10%. The other 90%, I just love it.
Just love it. Yeah. I mean, if you love it, yeah, why not, right? People like, personally, people are like, what kind of monster do you like? It's like, I just like the regular green, just the plain old green one, the original. I'm a basic bitch, so I ain't gonna change anything.
However, on that note, did you see the other model I was using? The ARF Pup.
Your newest one, the
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
I
know
saw
a person
that.
named Shoko or Shokobo?
Shokobo.
Yeah. For those in the chat that know Shoko, they kit bashed 3 different avatars. I keep forgetting the names. One of them was the Arflin, obviously. There's also like a Kieran, I think, dog version, and a Volpup. I think one of them was a Brat Bun model, but they made a custom kit bash using the Arflin of those 3 models and hand tailored a lot of things. And then they presented it to me before Furality, and it was actually a person named Rion. Bless them, they're amazing. They was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just having a friendly get together. You know, you can make it, right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll make it." So we all gather, we're talking, yada yada. I'm like, "Hey, this is very fun. Like your little friend get together." And Shoko just casually changes in the ARF up. I'm like, "Wow, that looks like an Arflin." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I actually a model for you. I made it for you." I'm like, "What?"
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. And Rion's like, "Yeah, this whole thing is for you." I'm like, "No way."
Ah, that's amazing. Yeah, I did see you in it, and I was like wondering, like, there's something different about Fluff here. Like,
Yeah.
like what's going on? And
So
like,
the question,
honestly,
the age old,
it just seems different, but you.
exactly. That's
You
what
know.
Shoko was trying to get at. They wanted to keep the Arflin. It was instantly recognizable, and I think it is. But it looks more
Stretched,
not stretched. Well, I guess literally maybe, but it
gangly, kind
is
of.
more mature. Like,
Yeah, it's not a puppy anymore.
yeah.
Yeah,
I got the
that's
first one to champion the Arflin. Obviously, I love it.
that's freaking cool.
It has a few cartoony proportions. The Arf pup is like more streamlined, more realistic.
Yeah. Honestly, people see you, they just, that's Writer.
Yeah, I'd show it off now, but there's sort of a odd transition period where
Oh,
they
I'm sure.
gave it to me to use on their account, so it was technically public, and then it ended up on Prismic, so they privated it, and they're just going to give me the files, but they haven't given it yet.
Wow,
So
that
it'll be back.
quickly. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Well, they pull from the API, so it's not
Right.
like stolen.
No, that's how they do it.
So
Honestly,
I'd show it now, but it's
yeah.
it's in. It's
No,
in
you
the
don't need to.
works. It's in-
You're fine. I mean, people, they want to find out more on it, then they can either go to you, or if you end up in it at
Yeah,
some
there's
point,
a ton
they
of
can check
pictures
it
out there. You just gotta find them.
Yeah, exactly. Just dig. Damn it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, that's what I should have given to cat keepers.
So you got the pup. You just been streaming on it. Everybody recognizes you. They love you, and VRChat was your primary thing, and you continuing to do VRChat. So
Yep.
when it comes to your content creation, your live streams and different things like that, like when at some point you realize that what you're doing is like it's real and you just need to like take it in and do more with it. Because all streamers, all content creators always end up at that point in their starting of their careers on it. Like, at what point do you realize, like, oh shit, this is real?
Well, everyone has their own answer, obviously.
Mm.
A lot of it has to do with money, sadly. I hate it, but it's the reality we live in.
Yep.
I don't know, with the success and the admittedly the attention felt great. When you stream every night and people are like, "Oh, I love you," and you have such great friends and you're constantly hanging out with a ton of people who love you. Then you go to work in Walmart and they're just like, "Do this, go there. You don't work hard enough." You're just trash. You're just like, "Man, I'm over this."
Yeah.
So I had a family vacation coming up, and I put in for the family vacation, and they denied it. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Here's my 2 weeks." So I was like, "I'll just keep streaming." Yeah. So that was my catalyst. I probably would have kept working if they allowed my vacation and stayed in Walmart a little bit more, but they denied my vacation. I'm like, "Okay, cool. Here's the 2 weeks notice."
No, I get that. I get that. I mean, honestly, it's kind of been a blessing of mine at this point too. Is like I lost my job, where I was working at, due to circumstances I'm not going to share here, but most of you know. Um,
Understandable.
and it allowed me to actually start pushing more of my content to, and it's just been feeling right since. Mind you, kind of had to tighten the belt a little bit, but
Oh,
it gets to that point.
Oh yeah, I've had more ramen than I care to eat, but
Yeah. But no,
that's life.
so honestly, with your streams and everything, you you got a nice fandom, you've made some friends, but what a big question I always ask any kind of furry is like, what brought you into the furry fandom in the first place?
Um, well, that's an interesting question because I don't know if I ever had like a start or whatever. Because like I've never said my exact age. Most people can guess, but I grew up when in the 12 to 13-year-old range, we had AOL dial-up chat
Yeah.
rooms and stuff. So when I was 12, 13 years old, I'd dial into the internet on AOL and then, go on a new interesting site called DeviantArt and look at all the cool stuff. And on DeviantArt was a bunch of furry drawings. And I'm like, oh, these are really cool to my young, impressionable self. And I'm like, I want to be a furry. And, at the time, what are you into? Pokemon? Yeah, I was really big into Pokemon. So I was like, oh, this one looks cute. I'm going to be a Pokemon. And then that was my persona.
That's cool. So
Yep. So
just ran into art and hey, I'm a furry now.
yep, internet exposure. And I guess I was what do you call it? Predetermined or predisposed. I was predisposed to it.
Well, this is around the time where I get into like the more deeper questions. I mean, you don't have to answer, but there are questions. I'm sure a lot of people watching that do know you would like to actually know is when did you find out that when did you find out that you are female?
Another interesting question because I just give you the answer like, oh, I always known, and that's the thing they say.
That's base.
But I think it was about middle school I came to terms with it.
Middle school.
It's like, well, that's who I am on the inside, but I can't really say it to anyone because that's weird. So I just lived with it.
So you just
And then,
felt like
you have your rebellious. Yep. And then you have your rebellious high school phase. And it's like, it's not possible.
Right.
And then young adulthood, you start living, and you're like, maybe it is possible.
Usually is when you actually hit the adult phase. It's like, hey, you know what? I don't care. This is who I am. Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's go to the lighter ends. Furality.
Sure.
What was your most favorite outcome when it came to furality?
Furality?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love the dances. I think that's my favorite.
The dances. So Club Fin.
I love dancing. Club Fin. I love dancing for hours at a time and just just letting go and putting my trackers in dancing configuration and jumping and actually put on my heart rate monitor
Yeah.
one of the nights, and I was at like 140, 130, 140 just consistently for the whole time, and then
Jesus.
when there were intense songs I'd go up to like 170.
Damn.
Yeah, I do that for Dance Dash. And Dance Dash, the hardest songs I go up to 180. I feel like I'm gonna die and I lay down.
That's crazy. So
the other thing.
No, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the other thing is I really like the thing where you'll be like, oh, I'll just join this random friend, and then you join a friend, and then someone you've known that you've heard around, but you haven't met, just completely just joins the instance. You're like, oh, I know them. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, did you meet anybody that you've been wanting to meet for a while? Like, did you make new friends, things like that?
Yeah. You know the Kyber's mini golf world? You ever heard of Kyber's mini golf? Anyway, real fun. We've played it a few times, but really hard anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just chilling with the crew, the fam in the fireworks world, and then Kyber joins. So I'm like, no way.
Ah,
So I go down and I'm like, hey, I love your mini golf worlds. By the way, do you play Walkabout? And they're like, oh, I love Walkabout. That was my inspiration.
no way, that's cool.
Yeah. And of course, Kyber had a art booth, and they're like, yeah, I'm actually more about my art. That's my main thing. Mini golf is just a side project. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I
Oh,
saw your
wow.
booth. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I ended up meeting
Yeah, just
quite
out of
a
the
few
blue.
people there that I've been wanting to meet for a while, and oh man, like I'm glad I went. I was contemplating on actually going. I mean, I would have went at some point, just to like check out the world, check out the booths, just do the whole standard thing. But I actually ended up running into some people that I've been wanting to meet for a very long time, and I think that's the whole point behind Furality, is
Oh, yeah.
just finding new friends and coming together for a common cause. It's amazing. Which I'm surprised you didn't have a
Absolutely.
booth. Did you even try to get a booth this year or any other years that you went to Furality?
I had an interest like in the first and second Furality, but I'm not really sure what to put there. I guess Twitch links and stuff. I know Heartwood had a booth once.
Mm-hmm.
I might try next year just to actually kick myself in the pants and do it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Yeah. So when at Furality, like, what was like one of the most like non like what turned you away from Furality in the like what part of Furality was just like like no kind of thing, like in your brain you're like this is not what I want.
Seeing 20 instances on the list and every single one is full.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're hanging with your friends and your Steam VR hangs for a minute and you're like, oh, I crashed. And then you come back and it's full and you can't get back in. You're just like, well, okay, whatever.
Oh, I've been there. Yeah, like I don't know how many times I end up going into an instance like, okay, this event's starting. All right, let's go to this instance, and we like I would jump in the instance, and it's like people are popping in, and they're like, "Where's everybody at? I don't know anybody here." And like it was
Yep.
0 like a minute ago, and now it's full. Like it's a 40-man freaking thing, and it's full. And you try to jump into like where your friends are at. It's like, oh, there's only 8 people on there. Let's go. And then instance is full. You refresh the page. Well, damn.
Yep,
exactly.
exactly.
I hated that. Like they should have kept them big. They should have kept them all at 80. To be quite honest, it would have made it a lot easier. So I'm going to open up the chat to ask you any questions. So chat, if you have any questions for Writerfluff here, go ahead and put it in the chat right after my question. We'll go ahead and jump to you. So you're doing the streams, you're doing mini golf, you're doing VRChat. Is there anything that you have planned in the future when it comes to your streams?
Besides what I'm doing now, nothing really comes to mind. More D&D stuff. I've been enjoying that. I mean, you know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, like any plans, like in general, in the future, like even besides streamings, like do you plan on, I don't know, like making a custom Abby or making a Writerfluff world or any ideas that you cross in your head that you want to try out later down the road?
World might be nice eventually, but the Abby thing, I got Shoko that gifted me that one. Before that, I was just gonna stay the Arflin forever, so I had no plans for that.
Well, we do got a question in chat here. Like, when is WriterCon?
Oh, you think I'm big enough for that? No. I mean, uh, I know it was like a tug of cheek or a joke or whatever, but you got this fandom My Little Pony super famous around the world. They couldn't, or maybe theirs are big. I don't know. Tumblr, DashCon, that one failed.
DashCon.
Tumblr's an entire website. So I'm just a tiny little person. It wouldn't be a con. It would just be a meetup at an Airbnb.
Right? Yeah, just a meetup. Oh, damn. That's freaking crazy. I'd attend. Of course you would. Of course you would.
We'll all get an Airbnb.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Just bring everybody into one. Hell yeah. Yeah. Just rent out a venue. Everybody chip into a venue and we'll go. How about that? Let's do that.
There you
go. Yeah. Well, any last thoughts or anything you want to share with chat before we get to the next guest?
Not really. I guess one thought in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I do the stream thing, obviously. I've made partner, I stream, whatever, but I've never really been a streaming mindset kind of person. I'm not like on the grind with clips. I don't like hustle for subs. I should probably do more social media and videos and stuff, but I just like hanging out. I just like going with the flow.
Yeah,
That's just been my whole thing. Yeah. I'm a counterculture streamer, exactly.
Yeah. Well, Claudia wants you to share more about the campaigns that you've been doing.
Well, the one I'm a player in, I'm a Kitsune, obviously, and Bard. For that one, we did the Lost Mines of Phandelver module to start. You arrive in a town, Phandalin, and then you investigate a criminal organization, and then you investigate a cave. You stop an evil person that's trying to use a forge. That was just the module. It was pretty short, actually. And then, but our DM took it beyond that, and we went to the Feywild, and now we're on the road, and now we're being attacked by other Kitsune, and we were doing a murder mystery, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. So just a whole variety of different things in that one. Damn.
Yep.
And then Crazy the other one that... Crazy wants to know if are you ever going to change your stream time?
I thought about it. It has crossed my mind every now and then. The reason I have my current time is actually because of, one, Walmart, and two, the people I met, Vix Fox and Vice, because I would work, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then I would take a nap at home, 5 or 6, take a nap till 10 or 11, wake up, hang out with them from midnight to 4 or 5 a.m., and then get a couple hours of sleep before I did it again.
Oh, so you're just stuck in that rotation.
Yeah, and then when I left Walmart, I just sleep all day instead of going to work so that I was energized for stream, so I'd stream longer. And then going back to earlier, when you're growing, you don't want to change anything suddenly because then you'll upend your progress, so I just never changed it. And then that's why we're here.
Oh.
I'd be open to it now that I've been partner for a while.
I mean, you have a pretty solid time frame. You're getting a bunch of views. You're getting a bunch of people that join you. They know your times and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, why ruin
Australian a good thing, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of great Australian people.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, Australians are the freaking best. Honestly, they're just wild. They're just wild.
And New Zealand.
Yep. Yep.
This would be like 5 a.m. and it's all quiet in the U.S. But then over there, that's 7 p.m. for them. So they're just settling in for their nighttime activities when it's 5 a.m. for you. So that's great.
Yeah. All right. Well, chat, that is Writerfluff for you all. Make sure you follow them, show some love. Again, they are my inspiration of starting streaming in the first place. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be here. So make sure to give a big thanks to them.
I'm
Show
just
them
a
some love
goober.
and follow them. I don't give a you. I
I'm
love
just
you.
a big
You
old
are
goober.
amazing. But anyways,
And I
thanks
love you too.
again, Fluff. You are amazing. Thanks for taking the time, come chill and talk with us. You're welcome to slide
it's
over on
great.
the
It's
other
fun.
chat and the couch and chat with us. But I'm going to be bringing up the next guest here. This is another being that I've been following for quite some time on TikTok. They're known and loved for their energy and what they do. We're going to bring up TokensArcade. Come on up, Bean.
What's up, guys? Tokens here. Hello. Wow. All right, then. Apologies for. Oh, if there's ever been an incentive to get Go Loco, yeah, you've given it to me now. So so I guess I'll just have to be in my L phase from Death Note.
yeah.
Hey, hello, how are you doing?
Sure,
Pop
I'll
on
hang
the
out here.
squat. Yeah, absolutely. Red Panda
Mhm.
meets Red Panda. Exactly.
Hey,
Yep.
I was told to sit here, so I'm gonna sit here.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, then. Hello.
Yeah, Fluff. Tokens, Fluff.
What's up?
So Tokens,
What's
thanks
up?
for taking the time to come and chat with us, hang out, and share your
all right,
experiences
then.
with us. Why don't you let chat know who you are and what you do?
All right, then. My name is TokensArcade. I'm a Red Panda furry, and what I do in the furry fandom is that for a long time I've been doing game shows at various IRL conventions, but more recently I'm a little more well-known on TikTok for collecting and fixing arcade machines, and for the last 6 years, since the days of, the pandemic 2020, I have been making videos about my IRL collection of arcade machines and retro gaming and technology, showing the world how they work, how I fix them, different things I get, where I go to auctions to go and buy them, and just share that knowledge with the world so that more people know how old arcade machine works and how to keep them alive.
Hey, and honestly, I think that's really cool. Do you do that as like a hobby, or is it like just a job? Like, what is it?
It has always been on. It is, but the arcade thing has always been a hobby to me. I have they're my own collection. I keep them in my house. I've got my own little, I have a very nice walk-in basement. So I've got, a row of them in the base around. I think I've got 16 machines total, one of which is out and about right now. But it is just it's a hobby that I just do myself. I have occasionally done, I guess you could call freelance work, where I've helped, local people, thrift shops, get a machine up and running so that they can later sell it. I've, done little inspections and appraisals before, but it's primarily a hobby.
Okay. All right. So what got you into mainly doing all that? Like what was, how did it get all started?
Well, as a kid, I was definitely raised by a lot of vintage stuff. My dad loved to, listen to the 60s and 70s, retro, boomer stations at, when in the 2000s. I've always just had a fascination with retro technology in general. I didn't have a lot of contemporary game consoles growing up. My parents didn't want to spend a lot of, money on video. They tried to make me, a good kid that was going to study in his room and read books. It's like, if you want video game consoles, you're going to have to get them with your own money. Well, guess what? And any Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt was $1.95 in 2008. So life finds a way. But arcade machines always appealed to me, not just because of the reasons everyone else does, but they've always come across me as like the more mysterious side of the video game industry. If you have nostalgia for a PS2 or an NES, how do you relive that nostalgia? You either emulate it or you go on eBay and buy one. Whereas an arcade machine is a lot more elusive. It's not like most people didn't own an arcade machine back in the day.
Yeah.
You put your quarter in, it goes, but occasionally you'd steal your quarter and ask for the man with the keys to open it up, that mysterious vault to, see what's going on. And that just always sort of like, what is going on behind that door? And just sort of my own personal drive for like wanting to pull back the curtains on things led me down the rabbit hole of our arcade stuff. There were some things that I made
filled in. Exactly.
Oh yeah. They're cryptid. Arcades are kind of the cryptids of the video game world when you think about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's where it got started for me as a kid.
So when it came to your arcades and you started getting all that stuff, and it's like, so what brought about TokensArcade?
Well, like me, as in like me as like this visage you see right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd already been, doing, been adjacent to arcade stuff for my first ever arcade machine. Well, I made my own like sort of homemade MAME cabinets, before with just odds and ends around an old compact Presario laptop. But I got my first machine the summer after my freshman year of high school, and it was a little bit after that that I entered the Brony fandom. That's where I kind of got my start in fandom culture. And when I was, wanting to pick a character, I wanted to, I decided to go with a Pegasus Pony OC. The red came from actually an even earlier Sona that didn't even have a name. It was just kind of a Tails Fox recolor from an even earlier time. And then the Green Apron actually came about because my biggest childhood arcade that I remember was Tilt Family Entertainment Center, now known as Tilt Studios. And I remembered as a kid, some of the employees there, particularly the technicians, would wear green work aprons that they'd held the tokens, the tickets, and tools and things like that. I remember as a kid, asking, "Excuse me, sir, could this machine took my token?" I'd see them reach into their pouch, pull out a token. There you go. Sorry about that. And that's where the design came from.
That's cool.
I originally was a red Pegasus pony with, my actual kind of brownish hair. So I ran that for a while in the Brony fandom, because everybody had their cutie mark, what's their special talent. I'm sure we all remember that. And I did a lot of game show stuff in the Brony fandom for a couple of years until things started to peter out around the mid to late 2010s. And then when I decided, I'd been to a lot of local furry meetups. I'd, made friends with, furries who had come to the Brony meetups. And when I realized, okay, I think this is the direction I want to move now, I kind of came by Red Panda by process of elimination. So it's like, okay, let's not do a dog or cat. That's cliche.
That's base, yeah.
Let's not. Yeah. Let's do something that maybe my color, because I like the red color scheme. So let's pick an animal that, this kind of color scheme would naturally translates to. I wanted to avoid animals like foxes or otters or other animals that had a reputation of lack of assertiveness, to put it politely. And so by considering all those, and I wanted something that was just, a little more off the beaten path. And after process of elimination, Red Panda ticked all the boxes I was looking for. So I went with Red Panda, and here I am today.
Heck yeah. See, and that's what's funny is I ended up picking Red Panda because I was trying to find an animal that best fit my personality. I could be chill, but I can be fun. I know how to have fun and cuteness, and apparently I was told that the more upset and angry I get, the more cuter I get as well. So I'm like, what the hell does that? And so behold, I found Red Panda. I'm like, you know what? That's me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like to think I've got a bit of Fennec DNA ascribing to my my loudness. I like to ascribe that I've got some Fennec DNA somewhere in there.
They can be a little.
Certainly are loud.
Yeah, they are.
And I like to say my superpower is TokensArcade. His quirk, reverse echolocation. He can make anybody else find him by sound alone.
You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, I ran into your stuff because of your energy on your videos. And I'm like, whoa, this guy just you have a salesman kind of voice and the way you talk and everything that kind of what drew me in. I'm like, who does this anymore? And I just got hooked. I just kept on watching your videos. I'm like, I like this.
I appreciate that. I mean, the game show hosting that I've been doing since my first time I hosted a game show at a meetup or a convention was I was 17 years old when 16 or 16 for my first game. 17 was my first convention. My first convention was a tiny little 300-person Brony convention that was also the first time I attended a con and also vended at a con. Once upon a time, I vended things. So yeah, paneling, attending, and vending was my first ever convention at 17 years old. I went into the deep end real early.
I would say that sounds like a whole lot of work for a teenager. Holy shit, that's crazy.
I liked making the games. I liked hosting games. I did some theater when I was in grade and middle school. So, I have a bit of understanding of stage presence and just kind of being on stage. I like being on stage, either metaphorically or literally in this case. And the thing I've always kind of tried to put into my videos is trying to is a mix of modern video content in terms of your algorithms, there's certain beats you hit, but to give that kind of classic TV presenter energy, because it's like we're at a point now where that's like in one way so far gone that it's now almost unique. Like everybody here is the typical streamer voice, your typical YouTube, you know the one.
Yeah.
So what I'm talking about here, showing talking with this kind of classy, silky, not quite baritone. I mean, I was a bass baritone, but actually, yes, the slightly bass baritone voice of how cool an arcade machine is. It stands out, and it seems it's got people's attention.
When I get to it, like when I hear it and everything, and I mean no offense on this because honestly I think it's really cool. The wacky inflatable tube man kind of like announcer guy. That's what I get from it.
I like to say that I like to say that if you present anything, you can present any subject with enough charisma. People if you I would believe it or not, I came, you got into retro games around middle school, late 2000, or collecting games more specifically around late 2008 with a interest in furries and things. That was not a recipe for popularity. I was not popular in middle school, but I like to say that when I get to high school, if you bulldoze your way through life with your autism hard enough, eventually people will respect you for it.
Absolutely.
You are not wrong. You are definitely not wrong about that. So let me ask you this though, like when it comes to when you're building up your reputation, you're building up yourself and things like that, and all the things you do, what kind of challenges do you tend to face on a regular basis on everything? Let's just say your arcades, your game shows, and things like that. Like, why don't you share your little struggles there?
Struggles. Oh, there's where do I even begin with that one? Well, we'll start with the arcades. What are some common struggles I deal with, when trying to make my work, with arcades, both video-wise and the machines themselves? Is that what you're kind of asking?
Yeah.
Well, as a video content creator, it is easy to get into a mode of thinking that everything you do needs to be filmed. And when you're working on arcade machines, which can be very spontaneous devices, everything can be going fine one day, then one day I turn on the arcade and one of them is making a funny noise. Sometimes I will try and take that as an opportunity to, show okay, I've, got a problem here. Let's see if we can try and fix that, which is what I did with my Asteroids machine that I had at my grandma's cabin, where it started making funny noises, and I went through that. But the problem I face is that if you go with that logic can, produce some good content, but if you go too far down that rabbit hole, suddenly you're trying to contentivize every aspect of your hobby. That can be tempting because, with unfortunately, I cannot manifest an arcade machine for me to talk about at any given moment. I sure wish it would, that would save me a lot of time, but, there can be, limited times where a new subject can come about. And if you try to backlog things too much, well, suddenly you had a machine that has a tiny fault that's been not fixed for 6 months because you're like, I just need to find the right time to actually make a video about it. So I, and that did happen at one point in around early 2025, around the whole TikTok ban shit show. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on here.
You're welcome to. Yeah.
All right, then. Awesome shit. There, we've got it. Rip the Band-Aid off. There was that whole thing on my plate. I was a couple projects behind, and I was going to Anthro Expo, where I was a featured panelist, and then that year, subsequently, this year, turned guest of honor, where I was bringing some of my machines there. So it's like I've got several machines that I'm actively working on, trying to bring them all up to spec, because these are machines that have been in my house for so long that, you slack on a few things. It's like, do I need to, have a lock on the door for a machine that's literally never going to leave? Oh, suddenly it is leaving my house, and I need to take care of these things. The caps have been fine ever since I bought it, but goodness knows if I take this thing out the house, that's immediately when they're going to explode. So I had all this stuff, but at the same time, between the time crunch and everything, it's just like there's no way this is going to happen. So I just, you know what? I'm turning off the camera. I'm working on my stuff and just being one with my content. And then, funnily enough, I end up making a video anyways, after all that, making a video about the fact that I didn't make a video and kind of going over the philosophical elements of, hey, don't make your hobby and the thing you love just, a content farm. So that's kind of what I've... Yeah. So, and it's hard because, when you're the niche guy with niche content like, me, that inherently you're going to have as successful as, I have been, I'm grateful for, I'm not, obviously there's fewer people, there's more people that are going to be watching, epic fail reaction, let's play,
They love that
cringe,
kind of stuff, though.
then there is going to
Yeah.
be the guy telling you about how to replace the ROM chips in a Sega Outrun machine. But you know what? The thing I've found when it comes to that kind of success is that you don't need to be number one to be successful. And goodness
you
knows, like, is that I've also found in my experience that when you're struggling with, am I relevant? Have I plateaued? Have I peaked? I've found in my experience that the kind of people that are willing to follow a guy that's talking about arcade machines are probably going to be in there for the long haul. There are people who get, and no disrespect to anybody else, but like, they're getting a flash in the pan is comparatively easy. They might follow someone, but like, are they going to stay for the next videos?
Yeah.
It's like when I was in the peak of my, when I was starting out my Galaga series of repairing a Galaga machine, that was the big project I was working on, and I'm still working on right now. It's been a bit of a long-term one. But when I went to MFF, after I started doing that, I'd put out 3 parts by then, and I swear to God, every damn person that stopped me to say hi said, "When's part 4 coming out?" He said, "What's the update on Galaga?" Like, and this wasn't even close to like one of my biggest videos. Like, I've had videos in this, these only cracked, maybe 20K a pop, which is still good, but nowhere near compared to like some of the 6-figure hits that I'm usually stopped for and people talk about. But no, everybody who was it was a small but like mighty audience, because everybody wanted to know about Galaga. So that's kind of where my struggle is making sure you don't over monetize, not monetize. I mean, like, but don't over commodify, I guess, your content, and also remember that numbers ain't everything. That doesn't tell the whole picture.
It really
I may not
doesn't.
be PewDiePie, but I can say that I've had someone at FW, and this is no joke, I had someone come up to me at FWA and said that they are completed their first year of college as an electrical engineering. They said they went to that major because I partially inspired them to do so.
Oh, that is beautiful.
And mind you, I didn't go to college for electrical engineering. I went for comp sci. Like everything I know about, arcade technology, I learned from YouTube tutorials and forums with, boomers on them.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the thing. It's easy to get wrapped up in the numbers and the quantifiables, but, I always tell people, look at the things that, because like, not only the things that matter in terms of sentimentally, but a lot of those things, like, they last, numbers on the internet are fickle things. They come, they go, they ebb and flow. But if you can get into game shows or, other types of paneling, with cons, and you get cons to like you got a little more staying power there. That went on I hope I answered some parts of your question, because I went on a bit of a ramble right there.
You layered on there, and honestly, you answered a few of my questions that I had talking on. But no, that's amazing stuff. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that we are our own critics, content creators, artists, whatever. We are our worst critics. We put stuff out there, we like, you know what, I could have done this better, and like, I wish I could have done that, I should have done that. And next thing you know, people are loving it. They see the simplicity, they see what they see what they want to see when it comes to it. And like when those people come up to you about it, it was quality enough for people to keep it in mind and look forward to the next one. And that is amazing, because that means that, you know what, even though you feel you could have done better, you could have pushed more, other people see it as like, I want what's next. I want what's next. Give me more, and it's amazing stuff.
And I'm not here to just make numbers. I mean, because I've been into arcades well before, TikTok. I thought that game shows, not to give context, I host game shows at conventions using, games like Family Feud. I've done Jeopardy. I've done all sorts of things. I did that since, the Brony days. And I thought that was going to be the thing I was going to be majorly known for. Like, I wanted to, become a guest of honor and, be on a main stage at a con, have like like celebrity guests, like have the guests of honor or the voice actors from the show, which I did actually have some of the voice actors from MLP. I had the voice of Spitfire. I have had the voice actress for like, oh, what was it? Did I have Fluttershy one year?
Oh shit.
Or is that? Yeah, I've had a couple. And even M.A. Larson, the writer of My Little Pony, was on one of my games one time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then more recently, I've had people like, well, if you saw Furality's Family Feud, I had Michael Kovacs. I had, who's obviously busy right now because of Amazing Digital Circus, and then of course Sean Chiplock, Rivali from Breath of Wild.
Hardcore. They're waiting on that one hardcore.
Absolutely.
I don't personally watch it, but like honestly, people are like really hyped for it.
Oh, absolutely. But I thought that was going to be the thing I was going to be known for. Then TikTok came along, and it was like kind of stole a lot of. I don't say stole the show, because like a lot of the things, because I've been a guest of honor at Las Vegas FurCon and Anthro Expo so far. I was actually also offered a third time a guest of honor, and I turned it down because of schedule conflict issues and a couple of reasons too. But I won't specify the specifics there. But that was kind of a weird thing at first, because like that's the thing I thought I was, because I had a big passion for that, and I love doing live stuff. And then I always loved my arcade machines, but I never thought that was something that was going to get big attention. That's such a niche, fixing arcade machines.
Well, people love retro, though. That's the thing. People love retro.
They do, but the thing is, like, it's one thing to compare like an NES. Like I said, you can just go to eBay and buy an NES. Most people can't buy an arcade machine. I mean, well, it is more accessible than people give it credit for, and that's a big point I made during my lecture that I gave at Furality and other cons. My Arcade Tech 101 panels, that you can actually get them for good deals if you know where to look, and they're not as difficult as people make them out to be. But but of course, one day you're bored in the house, and you're in the house bored. During May, I had just graduated grad school. My job wasn't starting for another couple of weeks. I had all to do, so I made some videos about first I made some dance videos and things like that, as every furry does as a rite of passage when they first join TikTok. Then I show videos of my cat, and then I show like my Commodore PET. I think that was the first technology video I ever did. Then me rewiring the joysticks of one of my machines, and then they show the inside of my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that I was rewiring because the wiring harness was just a hackneyed spaghetti fire hazard. And that was a 15-second video that took all of 5 minutes to make, compared to some of the videos previous to that I actually put effort into. Of course, that's the one that blew up to 400K within a couple days, and I had my first 10K within like a month from that video. I remember getting the notifications on that first video and thinking like, are you shitting me? This is the one that's taking off? But then the questions started pouring in about because there were surprisingly not many people posting about the insides of Arcade Machine on TikTok in May of 2020. So of course the questions start pouring in about how these things work. I make another video to respond to it. I keep going. Eventually I start wearing my fursuit while doing so, and the rest is history. Here I am.
Honestly, the fursuit is what does it. People love fursuits. They want to see the characters. They want to see furries. And honestly, like there's a lot of furry haters out there. Then you got the people that are very curious about furries, and then there's people that like enjoy furry content just for the fact that like, look at the weirdo. This is amazing.
Absolutely. No, I like being that weird, because I mean, there's plenty of people doing retro content. There's plenty of furries doing stuff. There's only so many furry, arcade machine guys on the internet.
You're the only one I know.
I'm not the only one.
You're the only one I know.
I'm not. There is not the only one. There was also shout out to Mellydog, MELLYDAWG on TikTok. He is a German pink and blue cotton candy colored puppy who has some, well, at least I think he got rid of some of them. But he did do a lot of videos on pinball. He's my German pinball cousin, as I've called him before. But kind of going back to what I said about the bulldozing your way through life with autism, one of my favorite experiences about being, doing what I do is that, like, It really is true because it's like, at a certain point, it's like, when you're confident enough about what you're doing and showing how interesting some of the things you're passionate about can be, at a certain point, like, because I know there was once upon a time where retro games were seen as lame and stuff like that, but it's like, at this point, how much of a loser do you have to be to talk shit about the guy telling you how a freaking Galaga machine works? Like, at that point, you're just a tryhard. You are, I don't know if tryhard's
Yeah,
right, but like,
you're finding reasons to hate at this point.
the amount of times I've gotten comments to the effect of, I'm not a furry, but like, okay, I'll let this one pass because it's kind of cool. Baka.
Pretty much. I mean, that's the same thing with me. Is like just recently, and I thought this was pretty freaking crazy. My last TikTok that I did, I actually turned someone gay.
I don't know if I
like
have that.
no joke, no. Like the guy repeated it like twice because it's like I'm not a furry, I'm not gay, but like this is freaking hot. Like I'm like, well, shit.
Fantastic.
Okay, like you never know. You never know.
I've had people tell me I've turned them furry before. I've heard, and gotten them into other. I don't know if I've had people say I've turned them into a red panda before. I don't know if I've ever had someone tell me that I've turned them gay.
Good. No,
that's my bucket list, I guess.
My point is that if you actually like get the attention hard enough on people, that you can actually either one turn them into something entirely different, like furry, gay, like a streamer or a content creator, but then you can actually motivate people to do the things that you do.
And I have seen that happen in fruition. I have had people tell me that that they've bought their first arcade machines. In fact, just last year I had someone, a younger fan, like not young, like 22. I mean, so early college. Well, no, actually that'd be late cop. I don't know what I'm talking about. 22 years old. Comes and tells me he's in the same Telegram chat as I am for Anther Expo, and he says that he just bought a Galaga machine for $300. Nice. That still had some of the like factory tags inside it. Nice. In a lot better condition than my waterlogged sack of shit was. That he said he bought it. It was dead on arrival. Put a fuse in it, and like I don't think I've ever really much talked about fuses, but he said that like my methodology of problem solving helped him figure that part out, and he gets the game booting, but there's a squig. The monitor is squiggly on the right side, just like mine was. He's like, hey, forgive me for popping your DMs, but it's like, I think my machine might have the same bug that yours had. Can you take a look at this and see if this is the case? I look at the picture video, I'm like, my God, yes, I think your machine has the same bug. So I tell him, we get to talk about what parts did I buy, where did I buy them from. I give him all the tips I can and say, have you ever done a cap kit before? I've not done something like this before, but I know how to solder. I know the basics. I gave as much advice I could. Week later, the parts come. Good luck to you. There's like 8 p.m. like during my Christmas break, and then at like 2 a.m. in the morning, he messages me saying, I did it. The monitor was fixed.
Oh, let's go.
Like, I can say that there was another Galaga machine that has been brought back from the dead indirectly because of my videos, because he said that he watched the part 4 of my Galaga video where I did show at least a high-level overview of the cap. He said he followed it like it was a tutorial, which initially terrified me because I did not intend that video to be a literally follow everything I'm doing here tutorial. This is meant to be like a high-level overview, not a step-by-step directional. But he did try to use it as that, and it's worked anyway, which is like, oh my God, people are actually watching. So that's the kind of influence that goes. And going back to the haters, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, unless someone's posting like a particularly egregious like slur or something like that, I never delete any hate comments. I don't hide them. I don't reply to them. I let the comment section handle it for me. Because guess what? In that context, all publicity is good publicity, because you get one dipshit in there talking something, then you get other furries that are just like, how it's like, oh my God, you're such a little furry hater in year 20. Yeah. But guess what? That literally brings nothing but positive benefits. That's just more, that's more for the algorithm. It's like,
I can say the same thing with my TikTok too, because when it comes to my TikTok, I get people coming in. It's like, grown man, by the way, like you wow, another person that thinks they're an animal and shit like that. And I'm like, well, why are you in here interacting
No,
with
it
it?
doesn't even
You're
face.
just gonna
It's
feed
not
the
even like.
algorithm. You're just gonna feed the
No,
algorithm.
it's like, yeah, it literally. It's like I see. Like I'll be honest. Like I am not keen on when furries make a big stink about it. Like I personally am not a fan of content of making fun of like furry haters, because it's just like they are not even. I get what you're going for, and maybe some sincerely think they're trying to helping defend the fandom, which is admirable. But in my personal opinion, it's like don't even go that far. Like they are not worth this. Like even like don't gift them with a slam dunk QR quote retweet, because guess what? They're just gonna get more from that anyways. Do nothing. And so that's where the kind of approach I go for from there.
Me,
the most hurtful comments
I like
I've
to
had,
say
it's
to
like,
people
calling
is
me-
like, yeah, what I like to tell people is like, I like to play with my food. I get a troll that comes in here, and like I like to play
totally.
with them. I love playing with trolls.
The like things like insert gay slur here, and you're a fur, yeah, whatever. It's like been there, done that, heard a million times. The only times I've ever been like had comments gotten under my skin was from other furries. Probably my most memorable one was someone saying that, and this was like way back in like 2021. If you look at my profile picture that I use everywhere, like that is like I set my profile picture once, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm just never gonna change it. So what you see on like TikTok is like a slightly different version of my head, like with the hair is different. Someone posted earlier that they thought my fursuit had a Karen haircut because of the way the bangs looked, and I'm not. And like when they said, I actually had my friend go and tweak my hair because I'm like, I cannot unsee that now. That is like one of the, and that was an actual furry that said that. Like, oh, call me a it's like, oh yeah, been there, done that. Say I look like a Karen, I'm throwing hands. Okay, who said that?
Tokens to
fire,
Karen, ladies and beans. There you go.
All right then. So, anything else you want to know from me?
Does anybody in chat have a question for Tokens here? Because I got one more question on my end, and then we'll open it up to you also. If you got a question, post it there in the chat.
All right then. Hit me with your best shot.
My question here is what I always ask people is, what is next for TokensArcade?
Whoa, for many different things. I'm kind of right now. I haven't posted an awful lot recently, just because. Well, right now it's peak con season for me. Right now, I've had LVFC, FWA, Furality, and Anthrocon back to back in like a 3-4 month span. It's been intense.
Busy.
This is usually the period of this is my period of time of the year where I slow down on content. But in terms of what I got in the backlog. Right now, Galaga, I'm trying to get fired back up on Galaga, which has been in dry dock for some time. A couple months ago, I blew out its bottom with a sledgehammer. Remove the waterlogged. Yeah, yes, laugh. It's fun. It's a sex joke. See, I'm a furry. I'm appealing to your target demographic right here. But yes, I took a sledgehammer to the bottom of my Galaga machine because it was that brittle. It was also one of the most terrifying shots. Eric's like, I hope this thing doesn't just like collapse on my face here.
Oh no!
But I did it. It was funny. But no. So I've actually gotten some new wood, and I've cut out a new base, and I've test fitted it. I haven't drilled any holes or anything like that, but I have recorded some footage of that. So building a new bottom for Galaga to get the cabinet structurally sound again. Once that's done, I can put all the guts back in it because right now it's basically just an empty wooden husk right now. So that's my plan for that. Meanwhile, Baffleball, I'm actually hoping to record this video this weekend. I have finally painted my balls to a satisfactory degree. Yes, I have been working on painting the balls in a 95-year-old pinball machine that I had very little information to go off of as to how they were painted, the quantity of the colors they were painted. I scrubbed through patent documents to try and find things and couldn't find shit. I even had to resort to digging up videos from the Wayback Machine, posting that I had to then post on random forums to see if I could find information about the guy who made it, because I found exactly one source of anybody who claimed to own the machine's original balls with some of the paint still on them.
Oh my god!
And I ended up coming in contact with the ex-wife of the dude who was the one who edited the video. That is a true story. That is
My
the amount when you're
goodness.
dealing with when you get into pinball machines that are nearly 100 years old, you start having to like, it's like you get to the point where, you know what, I'm starting to think a Ouija board might be a good source of information right here.
Jesus Christ.
So I painted the balls into a satisfactory to be able to play the game the way it was intended. I'm going to make a video about how I did that. I've got some oil and grease inside my pachinko machine now as well. I got the lights working, battery pack, and a set of 500 new balls. Some slightly smaller Japanese balls because they're smaller. Control yourselves. Anyways, so I got that. So I got that going, and what other arcade projects? Carnival. I've been just need to find the time to, like, set aside a weekend to yank the 20-something inch monitor out of that thing so I can go and do a recap of it and hope that, because it's like, oh, there's a crack on the transformer that appears to be leaking some energy. That might be part of the why the guns aren't firing or recognizing the monitor. Let's take care of that post haste. I've never worked on a monitor bigger than 19 inches, so like I'm gonna need another big friend to help me pull this thing out and not, drop it like an anvil on my foot.
I'm keeping my mouth shut on that one.
Yeah, and then probably I'll see if I can also try and fix the monitor in the other Mega Touch machine. I had two of them, if you guys remember that a while back. I got one of them working. That's the one I've been showing for the last year and a half or so. But I had another one that had its monitor go up in smoke, literally. And I've finally gotten the parts to try and repair it, because there's surprisingly little documentation about how to repair the CRTs and Mega Touch machines, because they're machines that have only been discontinued and had technical support dropped 10 years ago. So they're like,
damn,
they're old and discontinued, but they're like, a lot of them are still in service. So like they haven't quite entered the, let's preserve these things as, vintage equipment. They're still in the, how do we keep these machines alive so we can keep them making money phase. So when I ask people, how do you fix the CRTs? They're just like, you don't. You replace with an LCD. Why would you want to replace a CRT? Because I'm not trying to make money off of it. I'm trying to preserve it. So I had to buy like $100 part from a really sketchy guy that's known for being a curmudgeon old boomer thing. I had to sign up for Zelle to give the transaction over, which I had to look up what the hell that was. Basically, imagine Zelle is basically a form of payment. Is basically a digital payment service that some banks offer that are it's effectively a MoneyGram, like a MoneyGram, or like a wire, like money wiring, but digital.
Like Cash App.
So it's like,
I know what they mean. It's like fuck.
It goes directly from
like
my
a
bank account to theirs. In the sense that, like, imagine like the best way to describe
Western
it, imagine handing a
Union.
physical. Yeah, imagine handing a
transfer.
Yes, it's like the way they literally describe it, like, hey, make sure you know who you're sending to, because this isn't like PayPal. This is like if you hand a dollar bill to someone, you can't trace that dollar bill back. So it's like, this is terrifying. I got the part, but I have no idea if it's actually going to fix it. So like, whether this syncs, so I did confirm the guy would send the part to me. So, because this was one guy on the entire internet that had this one model of transformer to try and fix, and I don't even know if it's going to work or not. But you know what? Sink or swim. I'm hoping
Good
to add
luck.
to some of arcade knowledge. So yes, Carnival monitor, pachinko machine work update, baffle balls painted, Mega Touch monitor rejuvenation, and putting lights inside my red tent. I'm going to add some light bulbs as a little custom mod, because there's no light bulbs inside the coin door, and there never were. I don't know why, but I'm going to add them because I want my machine to be lit, fam.
Well, we
Hell yeah, fam.
are near the end here, but so we do have one question that we can ask here, and this is from
Okay.
Lats. Lats says, "What is the oldest cabinet you have?"
Currently it's baffle ball, but that's a pinball. But in terms of the video game side of things, that would be my Chicago Coin TV ping pong from 1973, 3 or 4. It's basically a hardware clone of Pong. It looks like Pong. It plays like Pong. The board is like 95% a clone of the original Pong board with a few minor tweaks. Pong, in case you know, in a lot of early TTL games were made with a lot of very generic off-the-shelf components. So there was like, it's not like, you know, there was no ROM code to copyright here. And in fact, I think Pong wasn't even like patented until like a year after its release. I don't quote me on that. I vaguely remember hearing that fact somewhere, and I don't know if that's actually true. But like, you know, there were a bunch of clones of like those home Pong consoles, you know, of which there were a bajillion different brands of. Same thing for the arcades as well. I've had the machine for a while. I had one point at a machine that had a working TV and no, not monitor. Literally, this is a machine so early that didn't have like a dedicated like arcade industrial grade monitor. It's really a consumer grade GE television that they bypass. You could shove composite video through the antenna screws to bypass the television tuning circuitry. It's the most jank thing ever, but this came from the fact, like, it's literally so jank they didn't even put like spade connectors on the wires. It's literally just they took a bare stripped wire and just wrapped it around the screws. It's so jank, but that's how you bought it. But I had that, but a not working board. I tried everything I could to get the board working, couldn't. Found another machine that had no monitor but a working board. I tried to Dragon Ball Fusion of them, but unfortunately, right as I did that, the monitor blew up. One of the capacitors exploded. I couldn't get it working again. I was able to get it so that I could have the wires come out to the TV that sits on top of it, which does my little play of MTV and music video clips. So it was playable, but I never got the machine working 100%. It's more useful as a TV stand right now, but I would love to have another clone. But yes, 1973. So that machine is over 50 years old.
Wow. You got some pretty old stuff, retro stuff, and that is our time. Ladies and beans, make sure you follow TokensArcade on TikTok. Show them some love. Say hello. Watch their videos. You might actually learn something and see something that you've never seen before.
Thank you so much.
But Tokens, you're amazing, and I thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate being here. Like I said, TokensArcade on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky. It has been fantastic here. Thank you for inviting me out.
Thank you for showing up. Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, that is VRLive. I am hoping in the future I can actually make this a monthly thing. And thank you all so much for coming in, checking things out, asking your questions, giving the comments. And we're just going to end it here. I'm not going to be reading out, but I do want to say, what's up?
I was going to say, is this the end?
This is the end, yeah.
Oh, I have a closing statement.
Oh, go for it, please.
Here you go. Thank you.
Oh my fucking god. Anyway, bids. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. As I say at the end of my streams, I want you all have a wonderful night. Good out to you all. And more importantly, always have fun. It's Niilit VRC and VRLive. Thanks again, and have a wonderful night. Mwah.
You too. Bye-bye.
We locked in, hearts open wide. You joined the ride right by my side. From pixel skies to neon dreams, and Niilit VRC was there, lighting up the virtual air. Every move, every little cue felt so alive, and that's 'cause of you. Thanks for watching, for being near, for every laugh, for every cheer. Niilit showed the world some soul in this digital heart. We found a role. You made the moment feel so free. Good vibes from Niilit VRC. You dropped in from all around, filled the stream with that sweet sound. Emotes flying, avatars too. We shared the joy, me and you. And even when the stream goes dark, your support still leaves a spark. We're more than usernames and tags.